The proto-Semitic Allah further down tells us was a black God represented by a black bull whose hide denoted his black skin.
Here's the picture that he showed on the screen. It's a deity El, the god El. Pay attention to the crown or the headdress, if you will. This is a picture from the front of the same statue, a little closer, and a little bit from the side here. Now, this headdress is actually the Atef crown. If you go on Webster's online dictionary, that's what it says. Atef is the specific feathered white crown of the Egyptian deity Osiris. It combines the head jet, the crown of Upper Egypt, with red ostrich feather for the Osiris cult. The Atef crown identifies Osiris in ancient Egyptian painting. If you go to Webster's dictionary, Merriam-Webster, it says Atef, hold on, a tall crown with a long feather on each side, shown in the art of ancient Upper Egypt as worn by Osiris. Okay? Here you can see Osar or Osiris with the Atef crown. This is from the papyrus of Nebket. It's actually in the Louvre Museum, and you can see me filming that papyrus on the video entitled Reality Check. Why black people ain't going nowhere. But you might as well put Afro Style Reality Check. It's going to come up. And in here, it's also from the Louvre Museum. You have Osiris in the middle with the Atef crown, and the description for it, if you go on the website of the Louvre Museum and you type Royal and Divine Triad, you can do a search and you will see they mention that he is actually wearing the Atef crown. Now, finally, you can compare the crowns. Okay, first you have the god of the Arabized Negroes, which first is El, but somehow, some way becomes Allah. But that's up to y'all. That's up to the doctor. And then you have the one that I showed you, Osiris. Then again, from the front, compared with another statue of Osiris, and then finally the same statue from another angle.
Biblical King's Seal discovered in dump site. This is the royal seal of the King Hezekiah, and here we have an Ankh. And finally, last but not least, you need to see it to believe it. The God of the Bible, El, slept in his own dung and urine. This is Ugaritic Narrative Poetry, page 195. And we also have this book here, the Masriah in the Prophetic Literature, where it clearly says that El floundered in his own feces and urine.
We haven't brought closure to Karinga. We let him build a holiday. The same one who set up Black Panthers in ambushes at UCLA and other places. The same one who tortured his wife and another woman brutally, sticking bottles in their vagina, using electrical shocks, and the FBI saved him.
Since I've been a part of this conscious community, sexual misconduct has been condemned and vilified almost unanimously. We saw the rise and fall of Dr. York. We had Hebrew Israelite, the brother by the name of Mighty Hebrew. He was convicted, I think, twice for sexual behavior against minors. He was widely condemned by the Hebrew Israelite community, but apparently forgiven by the Israelites, because I see him all over the place right now on everybody's channel. Another brother by the name of Tazaryach, another Israelite, also involved in sexual misconduct with a minor. We have no idea where this brother is, but he's been sheltered somewhere by an Israelite group.
I'm gonna tell you why, because I'm an Israelite and Tazaryach Israelite, and I think his doctrine is off compared to what we teach it. We both had the same mission, but he's telling the Israelites it's okay to mix race, right? He's telling that they got a doctrine saying that if a child reached a flower, they could be 15 or 9 years old, you can have sex with them.
Now, Senator, if you don't mind, you said that other people teach that you can have sex with a 9-year-old girl. Like, do you mind telling which other Hebrew Israelite organization teach that? Because you see, I'm not from New York, you know, so to me it's news, and I'd like to know when I go to New York with my daughter where I should avoid going. So, if you don't mind, Senator, which other Hebrew Israelite organization teach that thing that GMS teach?
Well, there's a lot of Hebrew Israelite groups out there that that teach that. I'm not calling out no names or nothing like that. All I'm gonna tell you is that a lot of them teach that, brother. A lot of Hebrew Israelites teach that.
Can I ask you a question, Senator?
Yeah.
You said he's a pedophile. You were talking about Nazi, were you?
Yes.
Can you just tell us what it is about? And you see, I'm not going to say, oh, you talk about people, you know, that's what everybody does.
No. This is different. Tazaryach, you know, because the Hebrews would say anything about polite real quick, but they own man. Tazaryach ended up being a goddamn pedophile, having sex with one of his wife's daughters, man. And he got ran out of town.
How old was she, the girl?
I don't know. Was she underage? Reggie, do you remember that?
She was underage, and yeah, but you know, look,
and guess what? Hebrews tried to cover that shit up, but it was coming out so quick and hard.
We have those guys who've been convicted for sexual misconduct. Garfield Reed spoke about this. Yourself, you spoke about Nazi, and Garfield Reed said that Hebrew camps are sheltering Nazi. So, and you know, it's sensitive because I know he's your friend, but you know, Mighty Hebrew, several people have said that he was convicted for sexual misconduct, that he went to jail for that. He did. Well, oh, well, okay, well, you know, so you'll confirm it, you know. So why?
Yeah, everybody know that he went to jail for that. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that, you know what I'm saying? So obviously,
but Hebrews cover up for Hebrews. That's what they do.
All right. So
and they go on everybody's platform and none of them niggas say a damn thing. But if I talk to Polite on the phone, oh man, how the fuck? So I'm never talking to Polite. Nigga, get the hell out of my chat. I talk to who I want to talk to. Innocent, like you said, into proven guilty, man.
Yeah. He was not convicted yet. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So Garfield Reed didn't lie then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When he talked about and Garfield Reed said even twice he thinks. Some people said that the second time is because he did not sign.
Yeah, he got violated. He got violated the second time. Yes.
Yeah. So what does it mean he got violated?
Well, he had a violation. I don't know why, but they came back and locked him up again on a violation charge, something like that. But all them niggas been doing that shit for a long time. Hebrews been out there molesting people and all that shit for a long time, and it's always covered up by other Hebrew Israelites. The only way we'll find out about it if we looking and searching and we see it. Oh shit, this pops up, and we catch it, you know. And then they'll come out and say something about it because we got them.
Which we teach now is that when you go into the law in the ancient world, men if they saw a woman that they like, they can grab the woman up and rape the woman, man. and we're gonna read the scriptures. We're gonna read the scriptures.
Yeah, the scripture answer it better.
That's scripture.
Deuteronomy 22 and 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her, I'm sorry, verse 28. My bad. Verse 28. Yeah. Yeah, verse 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed.
The word virgin, by the way, is a Hebrew word. Let me see if I remember. Bathwala. All right. Now the prophecy of Mary, a virgin shall conceive. The word there, virgin, is ayalama, which means young woman of marriageable age. Gotcha. Virgin in here means bathwala, virgin, a woman that never been, hit, so to speak. Gotcha. Exactly.
If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver,
dowry,
and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her, he may not put her away all his days.
Now, when you go back, and you know the Hebrew, when you go
like prostitution now.
No, he grabbed the woman in the field. The word, no. He humbled it. He gave it to the father after the fact. The word humble, when you go into the Hebrew, the word humble is the word aina. Yep. When you look up the word aina, it means to force, to take by force, to arrest. So what does that word mean? Rape. Yeah. It means rape.
If somebody was to rape your grandbaby that's 12 years old, you will be all right with that, God forbid. You will be all right with that?
In the kingdom, I couldn't do nothing about it in the kingdom.
Let me ask you a question, brother. Before this keeps going, we have to ask you a question. How many of your fathers here? Just be for real. If you're a father. Now, what if someone is overwhelmed by the Spirit of the Most High God, and he reads your scripture and he take your daughter and he just rape your daughter? What do you say to that? If he live like you live, walk like you walk, talk like you talk, because y'all live amongst each other. Yeah. Y'all live amongst each other. So what happens when one of y'all feels so overwhelmed by the Spirit of God that when you see one of each other's daughters, you just grab her up? You gonna tell one of these brothers here, come on, you know the doctrine, you know how we get when you get.
Well, answer it.
We just told you that.
How would y'all respond?
In this time,
But if it did happen, you would allow it to happen. Why? Because you go back to the scriptures.
You're supposed to be a brother.
Hold on. You're gonna allow one of your brothers to rape your daughter?
You say rape as if rape simply means to grab.
No. We talking about. Now we read the verse. Where someone was
in the kingdom of heaven. Hey, look. We read the verse, man. When the kingdom is established, we're gonna get women when they 12 years old. Right. All right.
Say it again.
As soon as they start in the kingdom of heaven, when their period starts, that's when they become a woman.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna deal with them when their period starts. Right. When their monthly starts.
Question.
Have sex with them. Have babies, man.
With 12-year-olds.
Brother, there's in the kingdom we're gonna do that, man. We're gonna get them young. We're gonna get them young.
And the kingdom is
the kingdom is right here, but the Most High is gonna establish the kingdom. Right? Don't look up in Google women that were pregnant under the age of 12. You got 9-year-old women that were pregnant. You got 11-year-old that were pregnant. Yeah. As soon as they get their period, they become a woman.
When did Eve become a woman?
So Shabazz was not permitted to stay in that area, so he took his family into the jungle of East Asia, which we now call Africa, to make a people close to nature. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, this is the origin of kinky hair, because we didn't have kinky hair prior to that. The hair on our head was like the hair on our eyebrows. The hair on your eyebrows straight, the hair on your head is not the same as the hair on your eyebrow. But the hair of every other people is the same as their eyebrow. Your eyebrow straight, your hair something different. Wouldn't you like the hair on your head to be as straight as the hair on your eyebrow? That's why you so busy frying it. That's why you so busy pulling it. because your nature tells you that the kink I mean, you know, with I'm black and I'm proud, we got to learn to be proud of kinks, because most of your family of other black people on the earth, jet black. They didn't have no broad nose and thick lips and kinky hair. They were dark-skinned people, jet black, but they had straight hair, a thinner lip, a thinner nose. But we are marked as a different kind of black person. And we were rejected and despised, not only from the circle of the gods, but we were despised and rejected by all the other dark people of the earth. This is why today black people with kinky hair and broad nose and thick lips are rejected in every society. I want you to hear me well tonight.
Yes, sir.
Why are we rejected? Because the essence of beauty is in obedience and submission to God. And the essence of ugliness is when you rebel against God. And when you rebel against God, in your rebellion, you are marked with a certain mark of your rebellion, which is the disfigurement of your internal self, which manifests in the disfigurement of your external self. And this is why when you look at our people, wherever we are found on the earth, you find us either disfiguring ourselves physically because we are disfigured on the inside because of rebellion.
Microphone check 1 2. Abomatomically, Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses can define how I be dropping these. It works. One of the greatest rap verse in history. Inspector Deck. Triumph. Wu-Tang forever. Wu-Tang Clan. They are reconciled with Funkmaster Flex. I saw the post of Reza and Flex together. They had static for 20 years, but it's over now. Flex said that he's going to make up for the 20 years of that silent beef. Hotep Senu Hena Senut I Tiren Isha Kandugu Kemet. I hope you're doing well. Forgive my voice. It happens. We have 50 people online. And the live stream I started less than 19 minutes ago. The title of this video is Martin Luther King and Shh. The Bible say he deserved death. What he did was against God. And that was said by someone known as Tazaryach from the Hebrew Israelite group ISUPK. I'm not bluffing. He said it publicly, live on air. But first, I want to thank my brother for the clothing that he has sent to me. Let me share the link in the chat first and show you the result. It's my brother Mentuson, who will probably join us soon. I have the link in the chat here. Art of Facts Clothing. You see this here? Black man with a permanent tan. And there's also this one here. You see my art. I'm sorry, I said I said my art because I saw the wings. The throne on the head lets us know that it is Aset, that the Greeks call Isis, Mehoshukubina. Hold on. I want you to see it well. So I'm going to do this. All right. Thank you, brother. Was well received. Now, let me go through the comments. For those who don't know, I've shared the link to get on the panel. It is pinned, which means that it remains at the top. Now, let me just show you out of facts clothing. See? 15th anniversary collection. Limited edition. You have hats, scarves, t-shirts, hats, hoodies, female gear, bags, children gear. You have a large choice. I'm going to show you where this disrespectful statement towards Martin Luther King was said. It's fresh, it's less than 24 hours old. The good brother Sinetta has been doing his job for years and who allows people to speak. Oh, it used to be 180,000 subscribers, now it's 181,000 subscribers. And here you see, streamed 14 hours ago. Hold on. Is it showing well? Yes, it is. The title is Captain Tazaryach Strikes Back at WAC, and that is WAC 100. Former manager of the Rap of the Game. Setting the record straight. I'm going to share the link in the chat. Those are not the words or the opinion of our brother Sanetta. As a matter of fact, Sanetta objected. Just like Sanetta spoke out against the pedophiles. But a lot of people in the conscious community can't even do that. The video has 18,000 views, and you can see it was streamed less than 18 hours ago. It has 191 likes, apparently no dislikes, and 177 comments. Now I'm going to play it. I'm going to mute my mic and play it. Listen to what he said about MLK.
I said our leaders belong to us. They don't belong to him being Puerto Rican or even white. Why do ISUPK? Because you want to claim somebody to be your brother. Why is it okay for him to disrespect any of our leaders, no matter who they are?
Okay, I don't know what leaders. I don't know what leaders you're talking about, but Tazaryach or the Titan.
One of them, and he was
okay.
making
Martin Luther King ain't shit, so I mean, I agree with him.
Well, even if you said it, even if you said it.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you. So Taino Indians, listen. Let me answer your question. Taino Indian
passed away. Everything changed. No, it took time for things to change. I know because
I don't want to talk about Martin Luther King, but Taino Indians are my brothers, just like Dominicans, like Sarnetta is my brother, just like Haitians are my brother.
I'm African, brother. I'm African.
You Dominican, your daddy Dominican.
I'm African
like
Dominican.
So if Sarnetta's Dominican ass can be my brother and can talk about Martin Luther King, then Tazaryach's Puerto Rican ass can be my brother and talk about Martin Luther King.
But that makes you sound like a sucker.
So then can Sarnetta as a Dominican talk about Martin Luther King? I'm asking you a question.
No, I say that Martin Luther King was a great guy. He was
he said we can't talk about our leaders.
So Martin Luther King to me was a fearless. Captain. Martin Luther King was a fearless man, fearless black man. I think he was a great man, brother. He sacrificed his life for his people, regardless of which way he did it. So what? We ain't got to agree with him, but I think he was.
I don't want to focus on.
We don't want to switch.
I want to focus on Martin Luther King. But what I'm simply saying is,
you judge by your intentions anyway. His intentions were good for us.
The Bible don't say that. The Bible say he deserved death. But I don't want to talk about Martin Luther King.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. It said that dreamer. If that dreamer come, you want me to read it? You said it don't.
It's a whole bunch of.
You said the Bible. You said the Bible say it. So since you're talking about the Bible, let's go to Deuteronomy 13. It says, "If there rise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and give it thee a sign or a wonder."
Hold on, y'all. One at a time.
I thought she would respect the scripture. Deuteronomy 13:1. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and give it thee a sign or a wonder, and the sign or wonder come to pass whereof he spake unto thee, saying, Let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them, thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams. For the Lord your God proveth you to know whether ye love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. Verse 5. And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death. So don't tell me that what he did was of God when what he did was against God. But I don't want to talk about Martin Luther King. You asked about.
Okay.
I was muted. Did I lie, brothers and sisters? Did I take him out of context? Is this cloud chasing? It's a fact. It's not an opinion. It's a fact. There are two other interesting things. I almost forgot to share it. On the same video. Listen to what he said about Bob Marley. He did not disrespect Bob Marley as a human being. But let's listen to Bob Marley's ethnicity, according to Tazaryach from the Hebrew Israelite group, ISUPK. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Let me mute my mic.
Look at this image right here.
Your screen
you see that? You see that image right there?
Yeah, Bob Marley, he got a white daddy.
Let me right. So now he wouldn't be an Israelite to us, but to everybody on the face of the planet, they'll argue me down and he's black. Everybody will. Our system is better because why would they say he's black? They're going to say he's black because he got dreads in his hair, he got kinky hair, he got brown skin, so that makes him black. Yours is actually flawed Mine's is not, because I'll see this, and if you actually, if I was to get a better picture, that skeletal structure that he has, that Bob Marley has, comes directly from his father.
Okay, so how is this biblical? How can you show me how you identify Israelite in the Bible? Because I know what you say about Esau.
What you want to more so say is, to finish answering your question, is we go by your father to determine if you're an Israelite, period. And you know that that's biblical, because Jacob, I believe, daughter was Dinah, and there's no such thing as a Dinahite. But there is 12 tribes of the nation of Israel from men. So you are the seed of your father, not the seed of your mother, not the seed of color, not the seed of hair texture. Your hair texture, none of that makes you who you are.
Okay.
So we've heard what he had to say about the ethnicity of Bob Marley. But later on, we're going to see somebody else. We're going to see somebody else. And we're going to hear his take on a person's ethnicity. I'm going to mute my mic.
You see that right there?
Damn, son. That's how you do me since 2012.
You see that right there? That's Caucasus right there.
You got to back it up a little bit.
Right
So
there.
you got to back.
Daddy.
You got to back it up
right
a little
there.
bit.
See it?
Yeah.
So is my picture false?
Picture ain't false. I'm just showing something here.
Oh, okay, no shit. Got
right? Right. That's it's not false. I ain't say it was, bro. Relax. Right. That's Caucasus to the left. The father in the middle. That's the other brother, I assume. But that's the daddy. Now, I don't have nothing against Caucasus or the daddy or the brother, but to me, they don't like no black man right there. All right. But let me say this real quick.
To me, it doesn't look like a black man either. It looks like Leonardo DiCaprio or something like that. But since they said so, let me go through the comments. We have Andrea Brunet in the place to be. Donnie Williams in the place to be. Knock Green in the place to be. The chat is temporarily open to everybody. Take advantage, because soon I will make it members only. And when I say members only, I mean supporters. And as a matter of fact, it's okay. Tri-State Speak Out wrote, I really appreciate you doing this live today. Stephen Pascal wrote, peace, shock. Sister Freedom wrote, peace and love, Zanetta. Zanetta don't bite his tongue. No, he doesn't. My good brother, Holip Season, from the YouTube channel, Holip Season, Heaven. I've been online since 2004. It's been 18 years. In 2 months, it will be 19 years. But my first ever interview on an American platform was with my good brother, Holip Season, part of the BAIO, Black African Infrastructure Organization. And that was back in January 2010, when I was temporarily in MIAO. When I linked up with the brother Afimi Wunaun that you have seen, he wrote, unless you gave your life for black people, you can't say Jack. That's the S-bomb. About MLK, he died fighting for the rights of his people, whether you agree with him or not. I mean, these habits of disrespecting the people who fought for our people, who did they get that from? Was he inspired by this gentleman right here?
Yeah, I love Elijah Muhammad enough that if you attack him, I would kill you. yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And I'm not a killer, but neither are you. But if somebody attack what you love, each one of you in here would become a killer instantaneously. Am I lying? Mother, let somebody look like they're attacking your child. Here's a woman who fought a bear because the bear snatched her baby. And she ran the bear down, screaming until the bear dropped her baby. Love casts out fear. We don't give a damn about no white man law when you attack what we love. And frankly, it ain't none of your business. What have you got to say about it? Did you teach Malcolm? Did you make Malcolm? Did you clean up Malcolm? Did you put Malcolm out before the world? Was Malcolm your traitor or was he ours? And if we dealt with him like a nation deals with a traitor, what the hell business is it of yours? You just shut your mouth and stay out of it. Because in the future, we're going to become a nation. And the nation got to be able to deal with traitors and cutthroats and turncoats. The white man deals with his. The Jews deal with theirs. Salman Rushdie wrote a nasty thing about the prophet, and Imam Khomeini put out a death thing on him, and it stands today.
Our brother Holipsism added, he wasn't on the corner running his mouth wearing a karate suit and Wonder Woman. He wasn't on the corner running his mouth wearing a karate suit and Wonder Woman bracelets. The Asiatic black men are on fire. Sister Freedom wrote, these are dirty old men. Spin Barrow wrote, disgusting. Kenan Wright wrote, shaking my head. Stir World wrote, peace, my forever and chat. Ramon Bear wrote, no, Sister Freedom, those are sick dudes that don't need to be around children. Why do you say that, Ramon Bear? Can you just explain? I'm curious. Why did you say that? Is there something you want to inform us about? James Powell, the elder, is in the place to be. Ashwar Projection 369 wrote peace to the chat. Even people who are seemingly into metaphysics can't have any metaphysical breakdown for what was said about Mem McKay. It's difficult to get around that. Will Tazaryach say that he was wrong so we can keep it pushing? Or will he stand strong on his statement? Only time will tell. Shabaka wrote, one love, peace, unity, and Pan-Africanism. Happy birthday, Bob Marley. Is it his birthday today? What a coincidence if it is. Let me have a look. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be all right. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be all right. Oh, Lord have mercy. He was born on February 6, 1945. and died on May 11, 1981. What a coincidence. If people into metaphysics might touch on that. As a matter of fact, I see that we have 66 members now. They're going to say, you see 66. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Sister Freedom wrote, Ramon Bear, peace. I agree 100%. Kimberly's World wrote, greetings from work. Because Allah wrote, this is all news. Can we get back to learning? Don't nobody care about Ninja Brews or Farrakhan. Well, there are 250,000 members strong, and that number was years back, a few decades back. So they are much more numerous. It might be all news to you, but for some people it is news period. Storm wrote peace to everyone. Kimberly's World wrote, I heard it. They can all go get screwed. Stir World wrote, Hebrews killed MLK mother in church sitting at piano. Say it ain't so. Which organization was he a part of? Which Hebrew organization was he a part of? Was he a black Hebrew? Was he a Hebrew Israelite? Once again, you have the link to Artifacts Clothing. Stephen Pascal wrote, Dr. Martin Luther King was one of the greatest men to walk the earth. Only fools disrespect his efforts. We briefly touch on WAC 100 because there's static between him and that guy who looks like Leonardo DiCaprio because he was talking real tough, real straight. The game had a nice song featuring the rapper Nasir Jones, Esco, Nasty Nas from QB. I'm not sure if it is entitled Letter to the King, but you can look it up. The Game featuring Nas. The song about Martin Luther King. Sister Freedom wrote, ISUPK has no respect for our heroes. V. Bennett wrote, Hotel. Spin Barrel wrote, cancel Tazaryach. I wouldn't say that. Let's just ask him, do you stand on what you have said? Or do you want to say my bad and keep it moving? Show some integrity. Show some dignity. I saw the part, I didn't watch the full stream, but I saw the part where Sanetta asked him if he would like to debate me. He replied, oh, that's the brother from overseas. Sanetta agreed, confirmed, and Tazaryach didn't say anything. So who knows? If he didn't want to, he might have said straight away, no, I don't want to. He might ask his leader or other members of his group, and they might tell him, no, brother Tazaryach, you don't want that smoke. You don't want that brother to give you that work. You're gonna look back and you're gonna look bad, and we're gonna look bad. Don't do it, please. Please don't do it. V. Bennett wrote, yeah, artifact ship worldwide also. Sister Freedom wrote, Tazaryach is a sucker. Big T wrote, my bro, Captain T on MLK head, give him his flowers. Sister Freedom wrote, Shaka, that was me talking to him. Good job, sister. Sometimes brothers are weak, just like at the time of Asantewa. Brothers wouldn't fight. She said, well, we're going to fight. There were many other brothers in the panel. I didn't hear anything. The fight doctor wrote, this Negro Israelite is beyond delusional. Kimberly's World quoted Dr. King deserves death, but Chataza or Kataza, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I think it's pronounced Kataza. Sister Freedom added, Emma can never claim to be a prophet. Still, World wrote, do y'all see that crap? MK gave a speech with name, I Have a Dream. He never prophesied. He merely, I guess he meant to write to mean merely, spoke of his wish for equality. Andrew Brunet added, hi, Shaka and Chat fam. Ramon Bear wrote, only people with mental illness believe that BS. Private Tazaryach. Second Infinite Energy Empress wrote, peace and blessings. The Fight Doctor wrote, feel better, bro. Thank you. I will get well soon. V. Bennett wrote, these folks be waiting time. I guess he meant to write wasting. These folks be wasting time on stuff that has no bearing on much law. And we have the nerve to disrespect leaders that embrace all their people. Shabaka wrote, the captain keep Bob Marley out of your mouth. Will Smith voice. Shabaka wrote, Bob Marley's mother was a child seduced by a European man. Shabaka wrote, all them white folks. Click the like button. Jackie Lacey wrote, I am not into religion. I don't care who anybody have into their group. Non-religious people should not give a damn. Elder James Power wrote, keep doing the necessary things, Shaka. The unknowing people needs the truth. Proper Perspective wrote, I agree with Kush Allah. Sacred Infinite wrote, stressing your voice out, Shaka. Hey, you got to address things like that, particularly when it's fresh, because this conscious community, they be like, oh, he said that 1 year ago. That's old news. I want to hear something new. Oh, that other guy molested a girl who was underage. That's old news. We've been known about it. You ain't bringing nothing new, brother. You live in the past, brother. What about the time period of the fictional Exodus, which is not historical? It's science fiction. That's circa 1500 BC, which means that it is around 3,500 years old. That's not living in the past. I went through all the comments. It looks like people don't want to get on the panel. Maybe they are scared. You need horror hound drops for your throat. Sister Freedom, thank you for becoming a supporter of this channel. For those who don't know, I've shared the link, but I will share it again. It's $3 per month, which equals to $36 per year. I don't know any personal information. It is all handled by YouTube. You can cancel at any time. If you sign up today and you cancel today, you will have the access as a member until March 6th. So some people don't have it. $3 per month is too much. $36 per year is too much. It is what it is. It's not an obligation. And you do have the link to get on the panel. As a matter of fact, you see, first you have the link. Only supporters can post in the chat. Here's a link to join. And then you have a link to get on the panel. So V. Bennett isn't the place to be. Hotel, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, Hotep, Shaka. Yeah, man, and get better, man. You know, get better, bro. Hotep to everybody in the chat. Everybody just gonna come and watch this video. Yeah, brother. I mean, what can I say? It's bonkers. It's bonkers. Listening to this, listening to this. All I can say is thank you, Sonetta, for bringing these diverse groups of thinking to the forefront.
so people can watch and see, document, analyze. The whole world can analyze it, and all I can say is, man, wow, wow, wow. I mean, we in trouble, yo. We in trouble. We in trouble as a people. It's not over. It's not helpless, but we do need to dismiss some of the concepts that are just irrational, won't work, will lead people to pain, sadness, sickness, a waste of time. And so I want to thank Sarnetta for, doing a great job. But and yourself, bro. But I just want to tell people we can step it up. There's a new way. We don't have to be followers. We can handle these things slightly different. Disrespecting Martin Luther King, man, you don't live anywhere near the caliber of a brother named Martin Luther King. Who could Martin Luther King is so deep, he confused people. You see what I mean? But at the end of the day, he was not a coward. You're dealing with a man who knew people wanted to kill him, probably knew that people to his left and his right was willing to let him die. And he had this thought in his mind that you even going to learn something about where we are as a people, how things work, because I'm not going to run. And even if my own brother set me up, you're going to watch it and see how this works. And yet, so many of us have not seen how it works still, because we still willing to go out there, step on each other, step on the man. Come on. I mean, it just makes no sense. Martin Luther King never came out and pointed the finger at a Muslim. I never heard it. Martin Luther King never came out there and pointed the finger at it. But yet people gonna hate on him. Well, I mean, what's wrong with us, man? What's wrong with us? Malcolm X, same thing. He tried to stand up for what's right. He put his life on the line. And what people do, sit out there, they're so proud to talk nasty things about the man and wish him death. What's wrong with us? Those are not things that can just fly by with a oops, I did it again. Oops, well, it was just an accident. No, you were a nasty, dastardly person to speak on that man. You see what I mean? And we just have to understand that's our problem, and we go nowhere until we understand this type of sickness that we have. It don't matter. Sure, we could discuss where we get the sickness from, but that's not the only thing that matters. What also matters is get out of the sickness. Stop repeating the sickness. Stop making the same mistakes. Stop with the rule and divide. I was happy to hear somebody call Sarnetta a Dominican, because of course I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn.
Hey, V. Bennett, V. Bennett,
hold on.
I appreciate it, brother.
Hold on. Yeah, right. But hold on, T. I'm gonna let you get yours. But listen, what about the dude who's telling everybody, hey, you're not African American, go back to Africa? So what he got to say to Sarnetta? What he got to say to Sarnetta about that? See, so this is what we get to see is again, people that are saying things have the nerve to preach those things out there and don't practice them themselves. And then they're going to tell you, send me a cash out. By the way, it's like, what is this, man? I mean, when is it going to end? When is it going to end? Anyway, I'm going to step aside because I know other people got stuff to say.
I want to, first of all, peace to the chat. Peace to my man Bennett standing tall. I want to apologize to Shaka for it last night, but I refuse to let these cowards come in, spin the narratives and talk like nothing ain't going on and playing like people stupid, man. And I left my number in the back chat, and I told when he get to the city, he can call me. We can meet up, turn the cameras on, and let the people see who reeling and who doing what in the community. So what they tried to do is he gave Sarnetta my number. So Sarnetta called me last night from a blocked number, and hey, brother, Hey, funny man. Hey, brother, you funny. Come on the panel. I got 2,000 people on here. I hung up. I don't deal with you guys, brother. I don't need no validations.
But
Or
I hope
no.
there will be reconciliation, even if you don't have to, have dinner together and tea and coffee. But I don't want you brothers to fight physically. I really don't want that, brother.
Well, Shock, I know you saying that, but when he come to the city, it will be fist strong and it will be whatever we gotta do.
Brother, please,
I'm not.
let's talk
I
about
don't
something
go
else
by
peaceful
that.
instead
I don't
of
go by that turning
I
my
don't even
cheek.
like hearing that. We fight all the time. Black people we fight all the time. We don't need that, brother. I'm really asking you. I'm saying, please reconsider. We don't need that for real, man. We don't need that. But what about the topic? Like, How do you feel about what Tazaryach said about Martin Luther King?
That's what they do. I mean, that's what they continue to do. They're gonna continue to put down our people. They're gonna continue to slander our people, and they're gonna continue to just spin these narratives whatever they want. Because guess what? There's no brother standing up to them. Is people always that's backing down, and people that's always going to be, you know what I'm saying, with the other rhetoric. That's what I feel about it. I mean, that's what them guys doing. That's what they taught to do. Put down your own brother, but they'll go big up somebody else and respect somebody else, but they won't respect their own kind. And where I come from, that ain't flying. That's like a real spit in the face. And they try to come at you with this weak conscious talk so you can be conscious and think, oh brother, don't do that. You don't pull, that's not right. But the whole time you doing what's not right. Right? That's all I was saying. I mean, I know how you was feeling and all that, but man, because they was about to get on here. That's why I was saying let me on the panel. He was about to, oh, I don't know that dude, you know this, and then he changed his story up and said, I know you. I had y'all talk to you before, but at first you ain't know me. So it is what it is. I mean, standing on man time, just waiting for him to get in town so we can get some real content. We can see.
I hope.
Hey, you said your uncle, when he get out of prison, was it 2019?
Yeah, he just came home. Yeah,
I know, because guess what? I was in Baltimore. Yep, I was. I was in the U.S. and somebody hit me off to him, a cat that's up there in Baltimore that I was working with, doing some video stuff with for some activists over there. They're doing a few things like Cab Calloway's house they wanted to knock down and all that stuff. But I actually roamed around there. But in any case, a lot of people don't know Baltimore, man. It's a rough city, man. Half the town is empty buildings.
Yeah, it's a different animal.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to tell them that, if a lot of people don't know, DC and Baltimore, we're very close together. And
Right,
how cats be getting down. So that's why I was saying I can't talk about it. I can't do that. And the only reason why I'm saying it, I respect you. I respect your opinion. It's your opinion. Even if I don't agree with your opinion on everything or anything, I don't have to because I wasn't there half of the time. And my opinion don't even count. And so a lot of that. But the thing about it is that on another level, we know that I'm not going to come at you. So you do your thing. I'm going to do my thing because we too close. DC, Baltimore got enough of that silliness.
Yeah,
we
DC
just ain't
home.
doing it.
Yeah,
we
DC
all
home.
locked up in the damn pen. You know what I'm saying? It's like we can't have none of that. So if Unc went, and then Unc, he said that go back to Africa thing. See, that's where I draw the line. That's it. I don't have to accept nothing else. I don't have to accept nothing else. You see what I mean? So I hope Unc hear that. I hope he hear that. He got to walk on his square. But like Shaka said, I hope you feel confident in us because we got a plan. We got a plan.
Yo,
you see what I'm saying?
So funny, I don't know. Shaka ain't know what to do last night. Shaka was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, that's not what I'm trying to have. Really, there's many people that I don't agree with. Some people even diss me, and there's just like really like one guy lately who made me want to buy a plane ticket, but that should be too expensive to perform because he mentioned my mother. But after that, you just calm down and try to move to more important things because at the end of the day, man, we worldwide we fight so much, black females, they fight so much. We see the videos. I just saw a video. It was at the airport, mother and daughter. We see that all the time. Where professionals are fighting over look, over you push me, over I heard you say this about me. I even saw a video that was like a few years ago. A young girl went to look for her up, like we say, pulling up, and the mother opened the door. The daughter wasn't there. One person was filming the girl. She said, "That's your mom, right?" She gave a slap to the mother. Then she said, "That's your mom, right?" She gave another slap to the mother. Man, it made me want to do something like how disrespectful. I mean, we have young people wild as F. The mother doesn't have anything to do with that,
Right. But I don't see how these guys don't think nobody that's going to challenge them. Like they just can roll around the community and say what they want and control everything. It's like nobody not going for that. You want to have kickback if people seeing actions online that you're not acting and what you saying you doing. Like what you think somebody just supposed to forget about everything?
Well, it's about the information, whether you agree with it or not. I really urge you to reconsider. It's like we grown men. I don't think there's any reason to get physical. And honestly, I have love for Unc, despite the strange things that he said. You know what I'm saying? Because I know for years he represented for Africa. It was not even fashionable to represent for Africa 10 years ago. He will curse people out when they would disrespect Africa. And I remember that. So I was just surprised lately with some of the things he said. But sometimes people change their stance, and it is what it is. But I really got love for the brother. No homo or pause, like people say. I really do, because I know he put in a lot of time and effort into this.
Yeah, well,
and Chink, speak of the feds, right? Check this out. I mean, the reality is that if you got this group ISUPK, right? Yeah, and another one, they categorized on the FBI's list as a hate group. You know what that mean, right?
Yeah.
And then you will just watch and see the little confusions popping off and all of this stuff. I mean, yo, what you think gonna be roaming around, maybe up in there, meddling around, tinkering around, and all that? So it's like, for me, I'm like, you know what? Okay, keep on talking. Keep on going up there talking, saying your thing. Say how you feel. You see what I mean? Keep saying what you want to say. When the real, at the end of the day, is it's not about what you ain't with. It's about what you with, what you want to do. You see what I mean? And if we spend time making everybody focus on what we want to do and what we can do and how we can treat each other. Look, I don't care what your religion is. Right. I don't care which city. Come on, you if you acting like a man and you got some honor and you got some decency and you know how to show that to the next man that you can see that in, that's enough for me. You see what I'm saying? That's enough for me.
And that's what I tried to do. And I came home, changed my life, get to the information. But it's like I'm running the worse than people with the information that I did when I'm out in the streets doing wrong. At least you know.
And it's shocking.
Yeah, the people you doing wrong with, at least you know what you're dealing with. These guys is coming from all angles with the spookiness and coming with the underhand joint, so you don't even know what you're dealing with.
Brother Donta, somebody told me you are a Hebrew Israelite, and I mean, I don't have any issue. People have their belief system. I was told that you used to roll with SVDL and that you are a Hebrew Israelite. Like, did you used to be, or are you still a Hebrew Israelite?
Oh, now no, ain't nothing. We ching me. Nah, I never been a part of nothing. Boy Scout, nothing. I never been a part of no group. I ain't never been nothing, bro. Never been in the gang.
You used to go on SVDL stuff, that debate.
No, I was on. No, Chris said he was talking about the other panel, Judah. It's called like Judah Nazareth and Rob Rack and them. They was like a Israelite group. So when I first went over there, what Chris talking about is when the Polite situation happened. So I went over there going at them because they was defending Polite. So when we had a big argument, all us was arguing. I was saying stuff. They was saying stuff. They was defending Polite, saying give him a chance. You gotta wait till he go to court. So Chris got over there, and he got on there the same way over here. He was like, why y'all letting these dudes like trying to put us down, talking about why you letting these street dudes come into the conscious community? We don't need these guys over here. They don't bring nothing. But hold up, brother. You press the button on YouTube just like me. Like who run? You run YouTube. You can tell somebody where to go and where they can't go. So he jumped on here and tried to play me like I don't know nothing. Like he know everything. He this, he that. So we got to arguing on the thing, and he ain't like the way I was talking to him. So I don't know where these dudes get at that since they know something that these other guys that you got to figure when COVID happened, it was a lot of street niggas that came on the internet and started watching YouTube. So it changed the whole dynamic of YouTube. Just because y'all was on here before don't mean that people got to get on here and bow down and don't say this and do that. I wasn't raised like that, bro. I don't got to listen to none of you people.
Okay, well, hold that thought. I don't know if it's a real Sinetta because I don't see the webcam, but feel free to speak. And please, I don't want the rerun from yesterday. Let's try to focus on,
Yeah, peace, Shaka. You hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Feel free to speak.
Yeah, I'm just here because my #1 fan is here. I'm here for my man Ching Ching. You know, I'm here because Ching Ching in the building. No, I'm not banging on the brother. No, I just said I'm here, Shaka, because my man is here, Ching Ching. That's my nigga right there. You know, I shouted him out yesterday.
I'm not the nigga, bro.
Hey, yo, Shaka, chill. Shaka said he don't want to go through this, man. You my nigga.
I don't deal with you, bro. I don't deal with you, bro.
It's okay. I mean, you're not best friends. It's established.
Yeah,
so
Shaka,
let's try to talk about
your platforms, and that's the type. But this what I was talking about, bro. These dudes, they come on here. That's what I was saying.
Shaka. Yo, Ching Ching, respect the man platform, Ching Ching. If I said you my nigga, you my nigga. Okay.
Not my nigga though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's
you are my nigga.
What?
You don't know what I mean when I say, hold up, Shaka. You don't know what I mean when I say my nigga. I'm not saying you my boy, you my nigga. A nigga is one who's deaf, dumb, and blind. A nigga is one who will sell his own people out. A nigga is one who will sell his own mama out. You my motherfucking nigga, Ching Ching. You hear me, nigga?
You Dominican, you not a nigga.
Okay, all right, okay. Man, I'm gonna put you back on the channel after, man. You know, it's like
bro, Sal, don't just try to have the conversation. He felt insulted. Let's not insult each other. And this is the thing. It's not just for yourself, Sal. It's not for Chingy either. It's for everybody. So look, y'all two can conversate, but just let's not don't pull the insults out so quickly. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's best that they don't address each other. You know, I don't want to be paternalistic.
Sinetta, come on, man.
Power. So just power, Elder, please.
Come on, Sinetta.
We passed
all right, but check this out, Shaka.
Please.
I got you, Shaka. But guess what? Hold on, I'm not no leader of no community.
You acting like this, man?
I'm not a leader of no community but my own.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what.
Hey, Shaka.
Acting disrespectful.
Here's the thing, man. Yo, fall back. Nobody know you. Fall back, James. Fall back. Nobody know you.
Well, hold on,
Sinetta.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, but Shaka. Oh man, why are you talking? I'm talking, man.
Hold on. James Power.
Come on, Sinetta.
Please,
come on, man. You don't want nobody coming on your show doing this. Come on, man.
Yeah, Elder, we heard you.
Right. Hey, Shaka, this is what I'm saying.
No.
This is all I'm saying, Shaka. You had no problem with this nigga talking about me on your platform. And so now when I come back in to speak up for myself, you telling me to chill. But you ain't tell this nigga to chill when he was on here by himself. I'm talking about last week when he was on here by himself, lying in my name, talking about calling me a child molester, saying all kind of shit. And so now when I'm here to defend myself, Ching Ching is acting like a bitch when he faced me face to face yesterday. And he ain't.
Okay. You know, Sinetta, I respect you, brother, but that's just gonna escalate. And I'm letting you speak like you letting me speak on your platform. I'm gonna wait, and Elder Just Power, feel free to speak. It's like it's never gonna end. And I understand you guys got static. I ain't trying to be patronizing. I really ain't trying to be condescending at all. You know, I think you're both older than me, so I ain't trying to pull that card. You know what I'm saying? I understand the static. So hopefully, you know, after a while it's gonna cool down and we can get on the topic. Brother Elder James Power, feel free, brother. They're on the back chat now. I wait a little bit. You know, go ahead, James Power, feel free. Let's deal with this. I mean, we have a guy, and this is Black History Month. You know, I don't celebrate
That
that,
doggone
but
shot side netter.
yeah, yeah.
Good
No, it's
grief.
okay. It's not. Let's try. I mean, we can talk about anything. But what about this? How do you feel, brother Elder James Power, about Tazaryach saying that Martin Luther King and that the Bible say he deserved death and that what he did was against God? How do you feel about that, brother Elder?
I
Oh,
can
there's
hear him
some
in the back room, man. Just come on. What's going
no,
on? Yeah.
that's the echo. I think that it's James
Hey,
Power. Can you hear
James.
me? Okay, that was coming from James. I think he's listening. Well, v Bennett, feel free.
Yeah,
Sanetta,
man.
please don't
I
hate me.
just
You know, I ain't trying to censor you. You know, I've let you state your speak. You make. I mean, speak. You both spoke. I mean, you know.
I thought they solved it. I thought they
Yeah,
settled it.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
said, bring the facts, and if it's something I did, if you got the paperwork, I'm going to
Mm.
address it. Fair enough.
Oh,
But
hold on. The
and that
elder is
was
speaking.
it.
Hold on. Yeah,
You
yeah. Go
don't
ahead,
know
elder.
side netter, man.
Yeah, okay. James Powell, feel free, Elder. You were on mute. You know, feel free to speak, brother Elder. How do you feel about the Tazaryach's statement towards Dr. Martin Luther King?
Hey, Shaka, I'm hearing a lot of feedback.
Well, it's probably. Do you have the speakerphone on? I think you have the speakerphone on. Or is the sound coming off your
Shaka,
earpiece, your headset? Yes, brother.
I don't know. Let me turn my. I'm gonna turn my Bluetooth off.
Okay, just go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think it's good to for them to go at it like that because it
Yeah,
create a
we
dangerous
passed that.
atmosphere
We
for
passed that,
everybody.
brother. We passed that. We passed that, brother. We passed that.
It cleared up.
Elder.
Oh, thank
Yeah. Feel free
you.
to speak, brother Elder. How do you feel about those statements regarding Dr. Martin Luther King?
Martin Luther King. Okay. Well, we'll leave that incident alone. That's what you want,
Yes.
Shaka. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
Yeah.
respect you and your show, man.
Yeah. Thank you, Elder.
I
I
think
appreciate that.
I thought Tazaryach was very wrong. I've seen him being wrong way before I've heard of these statements, and I didn't even know he made that statement about Martin Luther King. But I was amazed and wild when I heard the young lady talking to him, and you played it back. I said, "Good grief!" Now this Tazaryach guy, I ain't never set even saddle with him, really felt too good about him because, first of all, the way that he handles the religion part of it, he handles it to his advantage. This is what I see. And it's just my opinion. We all have one. Like they told us back in the day, like a-holes. I know all y'all know about that. But and we all got opinions and everything else, not just the a-holes, but uh, this is just my opinion of Tazaryach. He's used that Bible, I mean, in very bad ways, man. I know he's supposed to be a Hebrew, and maybe it's slightly different, but I know that the Bible is supposed to be used in a way that you're telling people, and God, supposedly God is treating people and teaching them the right way. In other words, he's teaching them how to live the right way. And all these words, I mean, they're biblical supposedly. But this guy Tazaryach, I mean, he's been using that Bible to his advantage for a long time, man. And I've never saw eye to eye with him. I listened to him, and even I've been inside Netta's chat. It's been years ago. I don't go as far back as you, Shaka, but I go back 5, 6, 7 years. And hey, Sinetta know me, man. I remember the first time he came on your show and I was on there. He came on and said, "Yeah, this guy funny right here." That's what he was talking about me. I knew it, and he has, maybe it's been his mods or it could have been him, because I watch him watching the chat too when his programs is going on. And I've been shut up, and I don't know about block, but I know my comments have been pushed to the side. They wouldn't let them see my comments. and Sinetta is on the side with this dude, man. And Shaka, I'm not trying to tell you how to look at things, but this is my opinion, man. You gotta really choose. My wife tells me you gotta choose your battle, but you have to choose your friends too, Shaka. I know you go back with them, and I'm quite sure we all change to a degree. I've changed. When I was young, I did some things, out of line, but that's all in the process of learning now. I'm an old man now, 69 years old. And I can't do nothing but see the things the right way. I'd be a fool and a dummy to keep going around doing this dumb stuff I did for years. And be careful, just like V. Bennett was telling Sinetta to watch his back. I'm gonna tell you, Shaka, you be careful and you watch your back, bro, because if you know it or not, you are on the way up and you're starting to escalate. People are paying attention to you and the things that you do. And as I've always told you, man, you just do what's right. I would tell anybody that if you believe what you're doing is right, even if it's wrong, when the time comes for you to be corrected, if you're any kind of man, you're going to take that correction and straighten up and keep going the way you're going now. Don't let them discourage you or change you. But watch your back, Shaka. And I don't agree not one bit about what Tazaryach said about Martin Luther King. None of us is perfect. They got a lot of bad talk out there about him, just like they got it about what's his name, the leader of the Nation of Islam that's dead now, the Muhammad man. But he was messing around with them young girls, and he was wrong about
Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, that's him, Elijah Muhammad. We all fall short, man. That's just life. I've seen no perfect person here, and if it was one, he'd be a billionaire and probably over and over again, because people would just love to be around him and learn the ways around her, to learn their ways how to be perfect. Nobody's perfect, but what he said about Martin Luther King was just, it was low, man. He said he ain't shit. That made me a little upset when I heard that, because I grew up with him as a kid. I was deflected from the Nation of Islam, and I can understand why now. Maybe whoever was keeping me away from him and kept me to Christianity, they knew why I shouldn't really go into that. And I'm kind of thankful now, even though, hello?
Yeah, this is Freedom that was on the on Sinetta's last night. I'm HOK. I'm just letting you know Sinetta is by no means in any agreement with anybody talking down about any of our leaders or any of our heroes. Just to make sure that you understand that.
Okay, well, I didn't say he was, young lady. What I said was I told Shaka just to be aware of his friends that he chooses, because he might not know him as well as he thinks that he knows.
Do you know Sinetta?
I know people, young lady.
Let me just say, hold on, please. I just called Sinetta. It's all good. I just want to let him. I just wanted to let him know I'm not trying to censor him. You know what I'm saying? And we passed that. It's a little situation, and it happens. Unfortunately, a situation happens, but we're past that. So please feel free to speak. Please feel free to speak.
Okay, I'm just saying that we should not backbite. If you don't know Sinetta, then you shouldn't say this man's been fighting for us for years and years, and he's not a backstabber. People lie to him. People lie. Okay, he got all of our backs, and he's never appreciated for the things that he has done for so many people. A lot of these people wouldn't even have their platforms if it wasn't for Sinetta, because they would not have been heard. Okay, including Tazaryach. Okay, right. Who is a very disrespectful individual. Okay, right. But I'm gonna speak up for Sinetta. Okay, because I know what this man has done for so many people. I don't like it when people don't show their appreciation and backstab people. It's not right. It's not right at all.
Young lady, I want you to understand me clear, and I'm going to explain it one more time. I said I did not talk down on him. I just told him, I told Shaka to be aware of his friends, because I've seen the stuff back in the past that went on with Polite, and even Sinetta being mad at Polite because his niece or whoever had got tied up into some of that stuff.
But keep in mind, Sinetta was disrespected first before he went there. Okay.
Right. I understand that too. I'm just trying to get an overall perspective. I'm not just going to look at one thing. I'm trying to say you got to look at the whole picture of an individual.
For every action and reaction.
Right,
Okay?
but you got to look at
Delaware behind Sinetta HOK. Just letting you know.
okay.
Whoever is
That's fine.
threatening him,
Hold
Delaware
on.
That's fine.
Sister,
That's
behind him.
Sister
fine.
Joyce,
That's fine. I don't have no problem with that. I don't have no problem with that. And
Sister Joyce. Oh yeah, go ahead, Elder. Go ahead.
I'm Sister Freedom. Tri-State is just
okay. Well, Sister Freedom, I don't have no problem with who you behind and who you back, and you shouldn't have any problem with who I'm behind and who I back. But the thing is, we all have our own opinion, and that's all I was just displaying was my opinion. And like I said, I don't know Sinetta personally, no, but I know people, young lady. I know you. If you're an individual that's gonna fit in a certain category, and we all fit in a category, if you want to believe it or not, it goes back to the old saying that birds of a feather flock together.
Not
true. That's people. People are the same way, young lady. If you know it or not, I don't mean to try to teach you, but I don't have a problem against that young man. But the thing is, what I have a problem against, like they say, don't hate the hater, hate the game. Unc uses that a lot, and I appreciate what he's saying. But if
All
you
right, Elder. All right, Elder.
Okay.
We get it, Elder. Thank you very much. Now, Sister Freedom.
I'm an elder as well.
Yes, Elder Sister. And thank you for speaking out.
I'm going to speak up for what I feel is.
And I mean, what about Tazaryach's statement regarding Martin Luther King? I saw him saying that basically Bob Marley is a white dude, but the Tazaryach guy is he's a Israelite, therefore is a black dude, and to say that he ain't nothing, he ain't jack, and the Bible say he deserved death. I'm like, man. And what he did was against God. Man.
That's a joke.
Yes. What he did was lie. The Bible speaks on dreams and judgment all through the Bible, but here it is. Martin Luther King never said he was a prophet. So everything that he was reading was obsolete. He never said he was a prophet, not once. So I still don't know where he was going, but that's what they do. The point is whatever Martin Luther King did or didn't do, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Huey Newton, Medgar Evers, whatever they did is for us to critique, not for somebody that is white. You cannot critique our people because Tazaryach choose for him to be his brother. Don't mean we got to choose him. And I mean, he tried to slide that Puerto Rican part in there. But as the Empress came on last night and stated there's different types of Puerto Ricans. Okay, so we don't know. That man could be his stepfather that he was showing for all we know. We don't know if that's really his father or not. They don't look anything alike. Okay. And I really had respect for Tazaryach for many, 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 many years. But when he let what's his name? Kakazak, whatever, cock, disrespect me. I'm a grown woman with a 41-year-old daughter that will be 42 this year. Okay, you will not. I have my own kids. Okay, he don't get to.
We all do.
Okay,
I have a son that's almost 50 years old. So I think I got you by a few years, but that's neither here or there. But go ahead, young lady. Go ahead and finish.
I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there that I'm a grown woman. Okay, and what I'm still going to say is when Martin Luther King was killed, did nothing stop. Okay, we were still fighting for our freedom, and we are still fighting for our freedom to get today. And what we need is unity. We need to come together from all over the whole diaspora because we was tore apart through the diaspora. So I don't know, me and you could be related, Shaka, and don't even know it. You understand? You don't know who you're related to because of being separated through the diaspora of slavery.
Yes.
But what I do know is Sinetta has been fighting for many, 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 many years. And Shaka, you know this. So for those who don't have his back, I do. Okay.
I do too. I got it too.
Yeah, but we all got his back. We all got his back. I think that's the issue.
That's all. We need to fine tune him where he's wrong and help him to get back on course.
Where's he wrong at? How's he wrong? Who's saying he's wrong? What is he wrong about? Defending himself?
Hold on, though. Let me propose something. We have proper perspective. Feel free to speak. How do you feel about Tazaryach's statements regarding Martin Luther King. Feel free to speak proper perspective.
Who are you talking to, Shaka?
Can you hear me?
Proper perspective. Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Okay. Peace to everybody that's on the panel. I am
Peace.
Okay. I'm totally in disagreement with the statements that you say he made. I personally, I don't really deal with that whole group. The Black Hebrew Israelites, I really don't think there's a lot of positivity coming out of their camp. I'm not surprised. I didn't see it, I didn't hear it, but I'm not surprised if that's what he said.
Well, hold that thought, brother. Hold that thought, because
I don't need proof.
Yeah, but as a matter of fact, it's not just for you, because we have 110 people watching right now. So I want them to know that it is not an allegation, that it is a fact, and it's coming from the horse's mouth. It's not he said, she said. It's not being chatty patty. So here it is. It's only 3 minutes long.
I said our leaders belong to us. They don't belong to him being Puerto Rican or even white. Why do ISUPK? Because you want to claim somebody to be your brother. Why is it okay for him to disrespect any of our leaders, no matter who they are?
Okay, I don't know what leaders you're talking about, but Tazaryach or the Titan.
One of them, and he was
making Martin Luther King ain't shit. So I mean, I agree with him.
Well, even if you said it, even if you said it.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you. So Taino Indians, listen. Let me answer your question. Taino Indian
passed away. Everything changed. No, it took time for things to change. I know, because
I don't want to talk about Martin Luther King, but Taino Indians are my brothers, just like Dominicans, like Sarnetta is my brother, just like Haitians are my brother.
I'm African, brother. I'm African.
You Dominican, your daddy Dominican.
I'm African
like
Dominican.
So if Sarnetta's Dominican ass can be my brother and can talk about Martin Luther King, then Tazaryach's Puerto Rican ass can be my brother and talk about Martin Luther King.
But that makes you sound like a sucker.
So then can Sarnetta as a Dominican talk about Martin Luther King? I'm asking you a question.
No, I say that Martin Luther King was a great guy. He was
he said we can't talk about our leaders.
So Martin Luther King to me was a fearless. Captain. Martin Luther King was a fearless man, fearless black man. I think he was a great man, brother. He sacrificed his life for his people, regardless of which way he did it. So what? We ain't got to agree with him, but I think he was.
I don't want to focus on.
we don't want to switch.
I want to focus on Martin Luther King. But what I'm simply saying is,
you judge by your intentions anyway. His intentions were good for us.
The Bible don't say that. The Bible say he deserved death. But I don't want to talk about Martin Luther King.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. It said that dreamer. If that dreamer come, you want me to read it? You said it don't.
It's a whole bunch of.
You said the Bible. You said the Bible say it. So since you're talking about the Bible, let's go to Deuteronomy 13. It says, "If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and give it thee a sign or a wonder."
Hold on, y'all. One at a time.
I thought she would respect the scripture. Deuteronomy 13:1. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and give it thee a sign or a wonder, and the sign or wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, Let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them, thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams. For the Lord your God proveth you to know whether ye love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. Verse 5. And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death. So don't tell me that what he did was of God when what he did was against God. But I don't want to talk about Martin Luther King. You asked about.
Okay. Can I say this? Shaka? What I was trying to say to him is Matthew 7, no matter how I will explain this, but Matthew 1:5 says, judge not that you be not judged. For with the judgment you pronounce, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Okay? So the same curse you put on somebody else is the same curse you can bring upon yourself For you to say that that man who did as much as he did fearlessly, like somebody said on here, they knew for a fact he knew that he might be killed. We all get on here, you too, Shaka. We all get on here knowing that whatever we say could possibly end our lives. Somebody could see me, hear what I'm saying, and try to take me out. That's just, I mean, that's what Martin Luther King did. So when you put a curse on somebody and say that they deserve death, do you know that is a curse? The same curse you try to put on somebody is the same one that you can be asking to be upon yourself. And especially you are a part of this universe, and the universe is a part of you. And believe me, it hears everything you say. We're not talking about no fake man in the sky and all that bull crap. We talking about the God that lies and lives within you. It's just so disrespectful to us as a people that he would say something like he said about Martin Luther King.
I mean, he said the same thing that Farrakhan said about Malcolm X. And this is the problem with this kind of communication towards each other.
The Nation of Islam.
But
it's never been as big as it was.
Right, but that's not my thing. My thing is how we communicate with each other. When we start when we start using this kind of language of hate, expressing language of hate towards each other, we make it easier for people to come in and destroy.
Absolutely.
And self-control is so very important if you plan on doing anything. Anything. If you're serious about anything, you have to know how to control yourself first. You see, and that's the thing about it. But I appreciate you, sister. I hear you. You got to know.
I mean, I don't know where you was going with that, with self-control. I have a lot of control. I'm
not talking about you at all.
I'm just
talking
saying,
hold on, sister. If you listen to if you just sit back, take a step back, and you listen, you hear so many people saying so many spiteful, hateful, harmful, hurtful, making so many maneuvers against each other. How you going to know who the rat is? We create an environment where knowing who the rats are becomes impossible. And that's why we need control. And I said this to Sai yesterday, it's so important for us to approach each other with our hands up so that we know we mean each other no harm, and communicate with each other with knowing how I communicate with Shaka. He knows I mean him no harm. Even if I do, let's at least give our whole body that chance. I think that's a real issue here. So, we love Sai.
Let me ask you a question. How much do you think Sinetta can take? Seriously.
Listen, sister, I did tell him that yesterday. That's exactly what the issue is. He's been attacked over and over by spiteful, mean people and some snakes.
How would you feel if you was a mother and you took care
I told Sinetta yesterday, I understand him 100%. I get all of that. That's not the issue. The issue is not
statement, please. How would you feel if you was a father and you raised
I am a father.
Okay, I'm just using this as an example. Okay, you raised your kids the best way you could. You did everything. You created them to be big doctors, lawyers, Indian chiefs. I'm just using that as an example, and then they turn on you.
Absolutely.
And they turn on you.
And I get the point 100%.
It's horrible. That's a horrible, horrible feeling, and I'm saying it coming from a mother. Okay.
Oh, I'm saying that coming from a father, a brother,
Netta done raised up all these people to be heard. And then the same people he raised up turn their back on them, steal from them, lie from them, cheat, deceive, all kinds of stuff. And we as a people sit back and don't say nothing. And all of them came from HOK. From Sinetta TV, the different names he may have, because that's how.
Right, but here's the thing. What I'm saying is that if we look back at our own civil rights history in the United States of America, talking about Martin Luther King, talking about all of them, It's too many of them. One thing, if we learn from our history of that, is that when we start showing disdain and spite openly towards each other, the others come in and finish the job.
And I agree with you 100%.
And that is so we have to stop it right there and start using some control, because they don't want that control. If somebody, and I'm not talking about just one group of people or one adversary, the whole world could be our adversary when it comes to African diaspora unity. Who else benefits from that? So we have to be cautious and learn to control ourselves. And that's what we were discussing. It ain't got nothing to do with not knowing Sarnetta's history. We feel for the brother. You see what I'm saying? We feel for the brother.
I don't agree 100% that we need unity, but at this point, we don't even know who to trust. There's a lot of people that's wearing our skin, but they wearing out our skin, but yet they are our enemy. Why? Out of jealousy and envy. It's ridiculous. How can us women ever trust you men? We need to trust y'all.
Well, if I called you the B word and the H word, that wouldn't help that wouldn't help you trust me, would it? Absolutely. So therefore, I won't call you the N word. I won't call you the B word. I won't. And even if I disagree with you, I know that I can discuss it in an intellectual, calm manner. I can discuss it in an intellectual, calm manner without even spiting you, because this is about intellect.
Can you hear me, V. Bennett?
Yeah, sorry, bro.
Yeah, I had some problem with my headset. I kept talking. Proper perspective did not really get to speak. The truest, I see you in the back panel. Please use your webcam. That's the requirement. Others don't have it, but we know them. They've been here for a long time. So please, thank you. So feel free to speak proper perspective, and then we're going to hear from the truest.
I guess I'm just like maybe just a little confused. When I came in, part of the conversation was about Tazaryach and his crazy statements. And I understand Sister Freedom supporting and defending Sarnetta. I kind of feel the same way, because I really got into whatever, watching these YouTube things off of Sarnetta. What I'm missing is exactly who was attacking Sarnetta that made Sister Freedom and a couple of other people, sisters, whatever, want to defend him. Because all I saw was the Tazaryach stuff, or so I'm just confused on how Sarnetta got pulled into this. You
came in late, so you didn't hear it, but at the same time, I don't want Sarnetta to get fussed at for something somebody else did. Okay, he has a platform like Shaka do, so he brings all kind of content on his on his show, and it's a method behind all the madness, because what he's really doing is opening the eyes of people. See, this is what I'm talking about. Y'all see this? Okay,
I get that.
So it's a method behind all the madness. Okay,
I definitely get that. Get that.
I'm just saying, he was on the show last night, and he does care for Tazaryach. I have a big heart for people too, and I care for Tazaryach too. But I see where he's wrong, and it was hard for me to go against Tazaryach. I'm gonna keep it 100, but it's not hard for me to stand up for the truth. It's not, and I don't know if I like him just because. But when you start going against people like Malcolm X. Are you going against people like Martin Luther King and saying he ain't SHIT and he needs death? That's wrong.
I mean, I was turned.
I don't know who Web Funk is, but we'll never get past it, because this is what we deal with on an everyday basis. It's traitors in the midst of our nation. Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I get you. There's always been traitors amongst us. We've always had traitors. We've always had, and right, like the litmus test is I think that's one of the reasons why I like Sarnetta's show, because he does expose those people. So, but again, I'm like, that's why I just didn't understand why we were so focused on defending Sa as opposed to.
It was somebody in here talking.
Can I make a statement towards you, young man? this she felt like I was the one that was okay. Well, let me finish, young lady. You did enough talking. Let me talk now. Okay, she felt like I was the one that was talking against Sinetta, and all I was doing is letting Shaka know about different people, just like D. Bennett did, telling Sinetta to watch his back and be careful. I was just doing something similar. But the thing is, I did say, not saying that I went against Sinetta, because I still look at a lot of his shows and certain people that I might be interested in hearing what they have to say. But the main thing, when I talked about fine tuning just a minute ago, you know, Sinetta, I don't care how big his platform is. I don't owe him nothing. I want you to know that, and everybody else that's listening. I don't owe Sinetta nothing. I'm just out here in the public. I'm listening to what he's doing, but I feel like he needs to be neutral. This is still my opinion. You know, just like Shaka tries to be. He try to be neutral, but sometimes you get pulled into it, because I listen to some of them when they're talking to Sinetta. Well, Si, didn't I say this, Si? And I'm noticing I didn't used to hear him say that before, but I'm respecting him a lot more, because Sinetta would tell him just like this: "Hey man, don't pull me into this." When first time I heard him say that, you know, I was really amazed, because I see some change in that man. But back in the day, I saw some stuff where Sinetta wasn't doing that, and I'm gonna just leave it like that. She felt like I was jumping on the man. Absolutely. I'm not jumping on him, but he does need to be fine-tuned.
I wasn't talking about him, Shaka, or proper perspective.
Let us hear from Truest, then we can hear from Sacred Energy, Empress. So go ahead, the Truest, please feel free to speak.
Thank you, I appreciate it. So I just want to say, on the subject matter of the video in regards to Captain Tazaryach's comments about Martin Luther King, the scripture he pulled to try to demonize Martin Luther King, that's a terrible scripture to use, because it can be used to demonize some of the prophets in his very own book. And I just want to say, before I get into this, onto what the rest of the panel is speaking on about Sa and Cap, we need to keep it on the information. Sa's just the promoter. He has a platform where he lets people of all walks of light and thought come on and speak their speak. Captain Tazaryach made an egregious statement last night, and I think we should hone and focus in on Captain Tazaryach and the statement he made. So on that note, let me get to that statement. So he pulled a scripture in regards to speaking of a dreamer who's a prophet, and how he will lead Israel into worshiping other gods and praying to them of that nature. So I want everyone to direct themselves to Genesis 37. Let me know if you can still hear me. I'm going to try to go to my browser on my phone, okay?
Yeah, we can hear you, brother.
Everybody want to be a star. I was not talking about him. He need to have several seats.
Well, in the meantime, Sacred Infinite Energy, feel free to speak, sister.
Peace and blessings, everyone. I am tuned in on the school bus. I'm at work. I just wanted to, make a couple of statements. I'm on the bus. I deal with kids all day. And this is the sign that I have on my bus. Can you guys see that?
Check your energy.
Yes, we can see. Check your energy before you enter. Positive vibe only.
All right. So that's what I push. That's what I teach. And these platforms, we're dealing with a diverse community that comes in with all types of knowledge. And I agree with the brother when he says we need to be able to talk to each other with intellect, just like Chris MVP Harris says, you need to have decorum. Even when you're in the face of adversity and you're going up against someone who may not agree with you, and if they start to lose their self-control, I think you should be strong enough to hold your composure. Even if it is your own platform, even if it is someone else coming on your platform, I don't agree that we should be name calling towards each other on no type of level, because you're representing a brand. It's a brand. And if I'm going to be a supporter of yours, then you need to be held accountable for the things that you say. So I think there's room for improvement. I don't want to sit here and point fingers at just certain people and not everybody. You know what I'm saying? So there's definitely some room for improvement. If I'm going to be supporting you, I support positive vibes only. And, you know, I don't make the rules, but I would like to see us get better about the name calling and the beef tube, like Chris MVP here is said in. I yield there.
Thank you, sister. Now, the truest, feel
Yes.
free.
Sorry, I scripture ready. Could I please address it real?
Yes, you can. Feel free.
Thank you. All right. So let me go private chat. All right. So it says Joseph had a dream, and when he told it to his brothers, they hated him all the more. He said to them, "Listen to the dream I had. We were on the field when suddenly my sheaf rose and stood upright, while your sheaves gathered around mine and bowed down to it." His brothers said to him, "Do you intend to reign over us? Will you actually rule over us?" And they hated him and all the more because of the dream and what he said. Then he had another, right? And I couldn't get all of the scripture into the private chat, and every time I close this app to go into
Now,
but
brother,
basically the rest
what's
of his dream,
yeah?
it gets
What's the passage? I will put it up. What's the passage? Which book is it? Is it Exodus?
yes, 7.
I'm sorry. What's the number?
It's Genesis 37.
Genesis
37 where? What part of 37?
You said Genesis. Genesis.
Okay,
Let
Genesis
me tell you
37,
the
but
verse.
it has, what's the verse? That's what I'm trying to ask.
What's the verse?
1 second. I believe verse 9 is where I stopped.
Where did you start?
Oh, my bad. This is 29. Hold on.
Because the point I'm trying to get to, just to speed it up, end of this talks about how we'll be bowing them.
Yeah, there you have
Yes,
it, brother.
there you go. All right. So there you go. Verse 9. It says, "Then he had another dream, and he told it to his brothers." Sorry, if you zoom in a little more, I can't. Go down to verse 9. Perfect. Then he had another dream, and he told it to his brothers. "Listen, I had another dream, and the sun and the moon and 11 stars were." So there, that right there, the description of the exact dream verse that Captain Tazaryach used last night to demonize Martin Luther. So by that same standard he used to demonize Martin Luther King, who was just trying to people here in America, he would have to demonize his own prophet Joseph, who was having dreams about the heavens bowing down to him, a mere mortal man.
Thank you very much, brother. Jay here, who has joined us, feel free to speak, brother.
Peace. What's going on to the panel?
Peace, brother.
Peace.
Hey, yeah. I was sitting here listening in, man. I was just thinking about something. I agree with a lot about what was said as far as the particular situation at hand. A question I wanted to ask, as far as it relates to Captain Tazaryach, because we've heard a lot of the different things that he said, disparaging things that he said. He's made himself clear, where he stands as far as, Africans and different things like that. What I wanted to ask was, at what point do we decide, that we separate ourselves from that type of rhetoric, that type of behavior?
At the point
That's a
you
good
hear,
everybody feel free to answer that question, which is a good question.
at
But
the
lately
point
we're seeing that even child molesters are accepted by some groups. So feel free to, make your input, brothers and sisters.
you separate
I'll say
yourself.
something. I'll say something. Hey, this is our community, and some rules and regulations are going to have to be set. Right now, my opinion is running rampant and wild. So maybe this could be a beginning. Somebody else step in. Okay.
I would say, you start to separate yourself as soon as you see the behavior, the attitude, the ideology that you feel is dead wrong. I've been involved. I can't say I've been involved. There's been times when I have tried to join organizations. I've tried to join groups, and as I'm like whatever it is, I'm going through like the orientation process, or I'm going to meetings, and as I get a closer look, I start to hear things, and I'm like, oh, this is not what I'm about. All right, then I'm gone. So you just like, even if I was like there was a time when I was sort of like interested in what the Black Hebrew Israelites say and do, because I had heard a lot of the speeches and whatnot when they bomb on certain people, and I'm like, okay, so that I gravitated towards that a little bit. But then when I see and hear more, and I see they're very anti-African, and I see they're very, I don't know, patriarchal, I guess, towards women, I'm like, oh, this is not what I'm about. And so I'm like, well, in my mind, in my cipher, I'm like, okay, I subtract that. So I like, there's not much, like I wouldn't even buy an oil from a Black Hebrew Israelite. I'll go find somebody else to buy it from. So, you make your adjustments when you find out the new information. That's what I say.
Next.
I agree. And I think, there's models out there where we see every day people in businesses, organizations, all types of structures distance themselves when they see, egregious things like this, in our community. We have to be able to agree what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. And it should be very easy to understand that pedophilia and rape cannot be accepted, period. And I'm sorry, but if you got a person who wants to defend it and got a hard time fighting against that and distancing themselves from it, that's going to be a problem. And guess what? That problem keeps us from dealing with other stuff too. You see, just the fact that we can't even get over that basic hump and be in agreement about that. So in organizations, what happens is when you attack somebody, when you harm somebody, when you do these things, you got to be set down. You got to be silenced. You have to be told you can't enter this room for a while, and you need to deal with this problem. And there needs to be processes where people say, yo, you go get help before you return. You go get psychological help before you return, and that's where we need to be at, because these kind of things, they harm all of us. It's violence.
Next.
I just wanted to make something clear on here. Everybody has their own personality, and I'm a very positive person. So I agree with the young man. I don't see his name, and I also agree with the Empress. But everybody does have their own personality. But another thing that I want to say is nobody knows how I felt because it wasn't in my shoes at the time that it was happening. I was there, so I'm probably a little bit more passionate about the situation with Martin Luther King being called all kinds of names by ISUPK. It really offended me, and I think it's something that's probably going to stay with me. You know what I mean? But I agree with most of the panel, but everybody has their own personality. I don't do bullies very well, so I am who I am. I don't let people take lead and charge over me. I just am who I am. So if I sound a little passionate, that's just how I am. And brother, I don't know what your name is, and I might be my fingers making it go whichever way. I wasn't talking about you, okay? When I was saying something about Sinette, I'm not going back into that. I'm just saying I wasn't talking about you. Believe me, I wasn't.
Okay,
I'd like to say something. I'd like to speak.
I just wanted to respond to the young lady. I
man.
understand now, and I just wanted to tell her, "Come on, young lady, give me a break. Let's be sensible about
I
this."
want to hear what
She said she wasn't talking about me, and I hear you, and I understand. Okay, now go ahead, young lady. The other
with
young.
all that. Don't get me. Okay.
Thank you. I was so angry last night just listening to how he just totally disrespected, totally the disregard, the disrespect of Martin Luther King. I was just floored. Like, I'm like, what?
Yep,
And then what? Another thing that I don't know what they follow, what their rules are, what their doctrine is. I know nothing about it. But what I did notice is like he kept addressing people as nigga.
Yes.
So when Sonetta jumped on here and he explained the definition, at least his own definition of nigga, I'm like, is this the same type of definition Tazaryach has when he's using it?
Mm-hmm.
And then it just makes me even more angry because he showed so much self-control, so much decorum when he was conversating with Wack, and Wack 100 was just
going
disrespectful, cursing, and just going in on the camp.
Yeah.
But as soon as he gets over to Sonetter's platform, he kept interrupting Sister Freedom. He kept on chastising some of the panel members. He just kept on laughing. He was very disrespectful. And everything that he said, he had an explanation. He had an answer for everything that he said. And another thing before I'm going to close out with this one. When he talked about the Puerto Rican guy, first of all, before he went and he pulled up a picture of Bob Marley and Bob Marley's father, talking about, look at how Bob Marley looks with the kinky hair. So if you go by looks alone, you wouldn't even know that Bob Marley's father was white or whatever his ethnic background is. But then he turns around and contradicts himself and pulls up a picture of this Puerto Rican guy's father and say, look at this picture. This is his father. I've seen the picture of his grandfather. But you just sat here and told us that you can't go by pictures. So it fits only when you want it to fit.
Right.
Yeah.
He was, let me say this to Sacred Infinite Energy. When I was on that channel, it was by accident that I went on across the line because I thought I was going on the Delaware across the line, but I ended up going on the one Tazaryach was on there. But at least when I first went on there, I thought it was kind of safe. You know what I mean? Because I saw Tazaryach. What I couldn't understand was I heard this thing, and that's what I kept saying. Saying Martin Luther King screwed a white woman. I'm not going to use the profanity. He screwed a white woman, and he ain't this. I'm saying to myself, so did your dad. Your dad screwed a white woman too. That's how you got here. You know, I'm saying this to myself, but I'm still trying to figure out why they calling Martin Luther King a prophet. He never claimed to be a prophet, not once. You know, so why are you using this passage in the Bible to try to explain a lie? That's the part, and they got mad with me, started cussing me out to what is his name? I cannot never get Cox's name out, but he started disrespecting me, and I'm texting Tazaryach saying, I can't believe you letting this boy disrespect me. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I might seem so mad about it, because if I could have got next to him that night, I couldn't even sleep. That's how mad I was. I couldn't even sleep because I remember my life as a child when we couldn't even walk on the same side of the street as white people. And you now, I remember meeting Marvin Gaye and Gladys Knight, all of them in my schools to get dressed because they couldn't get dressed at the hotels on the boardwalk. I'm from Atlantic City. You understand what I'm saying? I lived the life. So that's how I know nothing changed after Malcolm was killed, after Martin was killed. Nothing immediately changed. It took time for things to change. And for these silly little boys to get on here, like as if they lived those times, we're living our times now. But to talk about what I know I experienced, I lived it. The hangings, I lived it. You understand? Well, my grandmother wouldn't even let us walk to the store. So for them to do this, it bothers me. You know, it just makes me feel like, girl, if I could have, I was so mad. He was calling me names and the white boy. I get underneath his. I don't even know you, little boy. And if you really, you undone, decayed, I'm sorry. I know you don't, you was just saying you don't want people to hear us calling each other names, but I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about him. You don't have no right to talk about our leaders. You don't. And it just looked crazy to me like he was the master and they all his slaves and they protecting their pet or they protecting their master of some sort. That's how it appeared to me. Did you notice even last night, he even downplayed Martin Luther King and said he ain't SH? He even said that and said this man deserved to die. That thing there coming from a black man who got kids.
Who's you just think to me the root of this is my opinion, the root of their doctrine is anger.
It is calling women wars.
Yeah.
Calling women them type of names, calling the mother those type of names, and they wonder why everything is unbalanced, why nature is unbalanced. You disrespecting the sister of nature. You disrespect the mother.
Let me say something here. Let me say something here, young lady.
Family.
Young lady, let somebody else talk. Let some of these other young men too.
You make me say something. I don't disrespect my elders, but at this point, you need to stop. You're gonna have to stop disrespecting me and pulling me out of myself. Stop doing it.
I'm not pulling you out. It must be what you are, young lady. I'm not pulling you out. I'm just saying, give somebody else a chance to talk.
Hold on, please.
Somebody else a chance to talk, young lady. Let somebody else talk.
I think that's for Shaka to say, not you, sir.
Well, we're a little panel here. All of us can jump in. Shaka said, just jump in.
Yeah,
and I thought it was
speak, though.
Okay, let us let the sister finish, and then once you finish, anybody else can continue. Go
ahead. Let somebody else
I'm gonna jump off the panel. Like I said, I'm at work.
Me too.
Peace and blessings to you all.
Peace and blessings. I'm just saying, no disrespect to the men on the panel, but I am a woman. We do kind of talk a little bit more than y'all do. Okay. So you're gonna get to talk. I'm gonna say Pops. You're gonna get to talk because I don't
All right, Jitterbug. All right, Jitterbug. I understand your attitude.
I'm okay with that.
I got some of that too.
I'm okay with that. So I'm gonna
okay, I'm okay too, because I am a pop.
Okay, you got your opportunity now.
Well, I was gonna let some of the other young men, but I'll go ahead and make a little quick one here. Okay, the reason, this is my opinion. I've been in the streets. I lived down in Miami for 30 years on and off, and I know the streets because I grew up down there from high school on up. And the way Tazaryach was acting when he was over there on that other panel or whatever, with whatever his name is, Smash or whatever, 100 or I don't know his name. I just heard you talking about how he was acting. He was acting all humble and nice while they was disrespecting him. And now what we call that? And when he gets back over on Sarnetta's panel, he's all gung ho, cussing you out and everybody else out, or whatever happened. He's back to his old normal bad self. We call that excuse me, I don't mean to curse either. I would say a girly attitude. the way he talks about being faggots, all that faggot stuff he talk all the time, that's what he was acting like then. Because when my man had him over there on his panel, he was acting all humble and nice and letting him talk to him any kind of way. That's a girly way. Now you're going to act bad when you get out from under the heat. So that's what it was when he was acting like that. Okay, so that's just my opinion. I just want to step in and say something about that because you couldn't understand it. I understand it well. I'm 69 years old. I lived in it just like you lived in it. I understand all of the going and drinking out of the colored people water fountain and all that, but I'm going to leave it alone. I ain't going to go through all that. Hey, somebody else go ahead and talk.
Yeah. I'm back. I had to switch to my desk to my laptop because my phone, the power and everything goes out. But the thing that, again, we back on this topic about how we speak to each other, and the brother. Well, I won't even say brother because I just don't like too much about what that brother says, what that man says. I'm gonna take the brother word back. What he says, Tazaryach, whatever his name is. The thing about it is that if we're willing to communicate with each other with the language of violence, it becomes that more harder to figure out who is fanning the flames. So how you deal with that is by pulling back the violence, pulling back the language, right? Because it becomes easier to see what's going on, and it makes the people fanning the flames have to tone down also because they become more obvious if they don't. So that's all I'm getting at. And everybody's been through pain. All of us, I mean, I'm not going to guess. Everybody speak for themselves. I'll speak for myself. I come from a city where I had to watch. Our city's gone. Black people are restricted to a quarter of the city now in DC. You see what I mean? We lost so much in a short period of time through the plot, through the plan, through the drug epidemic, through all of these things, through the civil rights era, us losing our leaders, having all these things thrown at us. That's a lot of pain that I and many people like me have had to deal with. But the moment I started working in an organization, right, to do something somewhere else for Black people, I started to learn some new things. And I started to realize that, whoa, even though some of these people got a little bit better, for some reason, there's somebody fanning the flames of division and negative language towards each other. And that's my main point about it. If we can try to find a way to agree to where we can be a little bit more conservative and find a way to deal with our pain, I think we can achieve something. And you're right, sister. I mean, I love Sarnetta. I didn't start learning through Sarnetta, though. Don't get me wrong, but I appreciate the brother, right? I'm 52, about to be 53 years old. You see what I mean? I've learned a lot from many, many people. And so I wouldn't even speak to Sa that way. I wouldn't even speak to Sarnetta that way. Even though he's used some of the language sometimes, I would not speak to him that way. Why? Because I don't wish harm on him, and I don't wish an easy door for anyone else to come in and harm him. So I'm not going to fan those flames. And so I think we got to realize that if we have the pain, it's something we need to deal with the pain, because it's find a better way to deal with the pain, because it's only going to make us stronger and more precise. You see what I mean? And able to do so much more. And that's the thing. I think for a lot of us, the pain is not that unique. It's tragedy. And Black people done it in America and in other places around the world have had to deal with so much tragedy, but we're not the only ones. We're not the only ones. So we got to learn from the different ones, how they deal with it. Okay. We can't say, oh, this one deals with it better, so they had no pain. They had no suffering. They had no loss. No, it's about they learned that, wait a second, there's things that I can do about this, and there's things that I can do that can harm it. So let me try to at least remove the things that can harm it so that we can move, hopefully, if we get a chance, to move forward when there's an opportunity. So it's not to negate anybody's work, especially Sarnetta's work or anybody else's, because I tell you what, there's a lot of people that do work and quiet is kept, we may not even know them because we just look right past it. You see what I mean? And get caught up in some of the controversies and some of the infighting and stuff. So I would just encourage us to try to embrace that a little bit, and I think we all gonna get a lot more out of it, you know.
Let's hear from Chef, if you don't mind.
Shaka, I'm
No,
sorry.
it's okay. We have a new caller, Chef. Feel free to speak, brother.
Hey, what's going on, Shaka? You sound hoarse. Your voice, you
Yeah,
all right?
my voice messed up. Is the weather changed, the cold. Yeah.
Oh, all right, yeah. Look, Shaka, I just tapped in to tell you, man, your last 3 shows have been fire. All right? They've been fire. Don't let nobody deter you. Your viewership is showing, right, that your last 3 shows have been fire. Now, this thing with Captain Tazaryach saying that Dr. Martin Luther King deserved to be killed. When did he say that? I just tapped in.
Well, I'm gonna show it just for you and everybody else because we have 114 people and people come and go during the streams. So people will see this is not an allegation, this is a fact. I'm going to play it in a few seconds. Just looking for it, but it is right here.
I said our leaders belong to us. They don't belong to him being Puerto Rican or even white. Why do ISUPK? Because you want to claim somebody to be your brother. Why is it okay for him to disrespect any of our leaders, no matter who they are?
Okay, I don't know what leaders you're talking about, but Tazaryach or the Titan.
One of them, and he was
Okay,
making
Martin Luther King ain't shit. So I mean, I agree with him.
Well, even if you said it,
Listen, I'm gonna tell you. So Taino Indians, listen. Let me answer your question. Taino Indian
passed away, everything changed. No, it took time for things to change. I know because
I don't want to talk about Martin Luther King, but Taino Indians are my brothers, just like Dominicans, like Sarnetta is my brother, just like Haitians are my brother.
I'm African,
like
brother. I'm African.
You
brother.
Dominican, your daddy Dominican.
I'm
just
African
like
Dominican.
So if Sarnetta's Dominican ass can be my brother and can talk about Martin Luther King, then Tazaryach's Puerto Rican ass can be my brother and talk about Martin Luther King.
But that makes you sound like a sucker.
So then can Sarnetta as a Dominican talk about Martin Luther King? I'm asking you a question.
No, I say that Martin Luther King was a great guy. He was
he said we can't talk about our leaders. So
Martin Luther King to me was a fearless. Captain. Martin Luther King was a fearless man, fearless black man. I think he was a great man, brother. He sacrificed his life for his people, regardless of which way he did it. So what? We ain't got to agree with him, but I think he was.
I don't want to focus on.
We don't want to switch.
I want to focus on Martin Luther King. But what I'm simply saying is,
you judge by your intentions anyway. His
intentions
were good for us.
The Bible don't say that. The Bible say he deserved death. But I don't want to talk about Martin Luther King.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. It said that dreamer. If that dreamer come, you want me to read it? You said it don't.
It's a whole bunch of.
You said the Bible. You said the Bible say it. So since you're talking about the Bible, let's go to Deuteronomy 13. It says, "If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and give it thee a sign or a wonder."
Hold on, y'all. One at a time.
I thought she would respect the scripture. Deuteronomy 13:1. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and give it thee a sign or a wonder, and the sign or wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, Let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them, thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams. For the Lord your God proveth you to know whether ye love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. Verse 5. And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death. So don't tell me that what he did was of God when what he did was against God. But I don't want to talk about Martin Luther King. You asked about.
Okay.
Well, feel free, Chef. You heard it now.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like, it is at this point, right? I try to give religious groups and people the right to, you know what I mean? I don't like to bash them, right? But if they gonna be talking like that, man, it's time for us to just, stop even engaging with them and having conversations with them. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it ain't it didn't got too out of hand with them. You know what I mean? It didn't got too out of hand to say that Dr. Martin Luther King deserved death, right? Somebody that we all benefited from. Last time I checked, Hebrew Israel Black Americans benefited from Dr. Martin Luther King and them. So for them to even say that is even their children benefit off of it. I don't even know how they can fix their lips and say something like that. Like, wow, that's it's time for everybody to just leave them where they at. You know what I mean? It's no saving them at this point.
Yeah. That's what I was getting to that's why I asked the question that I asked. At what point do we separate ourselves from them? Because I was getting to that. Like, I mean, we can't accept that type of behavior, from anybody, especially with us doing what we're trying to do. We're trying to push our community forward, and people with that type of ideology, I mean, I hate to say it, but they just as bad as the white man.
Yeah, and brother, it's not even rational, right? If Shaka was to take a debate with him and bring up what he said about Dr. Martin Luther King, he's not going to have a coherent reason to say. He's not going to talk about nothing political that Dr. Martin Luther King did. He's not going to talk about nothing treasonous that Dr. Martin Luther King did. He's going to go back to the Bible as the reason why he's saying this. So it's not even a
Right.
legitimate gripe that he had with Dr. Martin Luther King. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's not even a fair argument. You can't even engage him properly and have a real fruitful conversation on it because he's not coming from an honest place. He's not coming from a rational place. He used a scripture out of the Bible, and I guarantee you he used it wrong. Whatever
Yeah.
that scripture that he's talking about a prophet prophetizing or dream or talking about dreams, and they are pushing people to a different God. That's what the scripture was saying. Martin Luther King wasn't doing that.
He never
Nah.
said he was a prophet.
Right. So, but even
Exactly.
if you put him in a line of a prophet, because you know what I mean, he still wasn't doing what Captain Tazaryach scripture said he
Absolutely.
was doing if he was worthy of death. You know what I mean? So it's crazy.
One of the brothers has said on Cross the Line that he put something bad about Martin Luther King negative in Instagram. He said he has so many people just coming at him. Because what makes you think that we don't love Martin Luther King? We know this man. How many people stand out, do what Martin Luther King did, though? He really risked his life for us. Now that's the example of a savior. For real, though. I mean, that's
What
the example of Jesus.
what Tazaryach did is called a misinterpretation of the word.
Absolutely.
He interpreted wrong. That's all that was. And I'm gonna be honest with you, as high as them brothers get, I don't want to get down on what they do, all that looking stuff and whatever else they doing, and you gonna call yourself reading the word of God that has, much depth to it. That's a misinterpretation. I'm done.
Look, check this out. If you look at the FBI's report online, right, about the what do they call it? BHI, right? Black Hebrew Israelites. Two groups they mainly talking about, right? They have a quote from the leader of one of the clan groups in the US saying they're asking him about the Black Hebrew Israelites, and he said they're the
Oh
black
yeah.
version of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
That's, I mean, it's
You're right.
online. That's what it's saying in the report. You see what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And this is I mean, I don't know how many red flags got to go up, but I'm gonna stop on this. Martin Luther, just remove everything else and just go to the basic sense of fairness, right? Martin Luther King, I don't recall Martin Luther King one time going out against any other black people that way, whether he agreed with their approach or not.
Yeah.
You see, and he made it so, he set the standard so high that even Malcolm X, had a slight shift there. You know what I'm saying? And realized, wait a second.
Yeah, because he was effective. He was not only that, to bring it back to the point, because he had mentioned Katasai, the dude that he rolled with, right? Now, he said that Katasai is his brother because Katasai is a Puerto Rican. So that would imply that in Puerto Rico there's no white people, right? So that's saying that because you're Puerto Rican, now race don't matter no more, right? Like there's not black Puerto Ricans, right? And there's not white Puerto Ricans. Puerto Rico was colonized by who? Spain, Europeans.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
if there are Puerto Ricans that are white, like clearly, and Katazai would be a white Puerto Rican. How could that be your brother? Don't even make sense.
And
But
check this out. Not only were they colonized by Spain, which a lot of countries were in America, right? But they had vessels. They had vessel people that were under them, Christians, Muslims, and Jews that came to America with them. They weren't put into slavery with them. They were vessels. They were participating in it. And to not even realize that is just it's just so pathetic. You know what I mean? It's like it's not as easy as generalizing these people that way, but we got to be more accurate about this stuff. And these guys, they show every time that they're the laughing stock. I mean, Europeans, they benefit the oppressors because the oppressors look at them and they say, guess what? See. I mean, this is a real problem because if you are so easy to go out there and spread hate, then obviously, and you're asking some other people to come with you on that journey, you're asking for everybody to get knocked down. So we got to be very careful about this. The United States government, because of all that slavery and because of all the people that helped and assisted in the slavery, has become a very, they're not the United States of 100 years ago now. You see what I'm saying? We dealing with some serious power. So when we go out there and show this kind of example, it's just being foolish. You don't, just because you don't like something, just because you don't agree with something, recognize that power. Recognize that power. You see, because that power can hurt you. That power can destroy you. You see what I mean? And so we don't want to get caught up in none of it. We saying we know that they owe. We don't want to let nobody off the hook. But if we start getting out there going crazy and getting off, we're letting them off the hook because they now saying, see, we got to put them down. Instead of reparations, instead of addressing all the systemic oppression, and instead of doing all of this, now we got to put money into the other thing now because look at them. Now they're going to go Osama bin Laden on us. Now they're going to go. And when people start going like that, they don't have no problem. They can easily get the support to do something about it. And they're doing it all the time. So we need, again, level heads need to prevail. Martin Luther King, whether you agree with everything he said, you don't have to because he was speaking from his experience. You see, and he had plenty of people that agreed with him in the region where he was, especially, right? They did what they could do. We have to respect that. But he did it with a level, cool head under extreme adversity, under penalty and threat of death, under all types of sabotage and trickery. He maintained his cool because he understood what the goal was and what would happen if we have leaders that don't understand that. You see that?
Nonviolent. He was nonviolent and he pushed that. I lived down here during the time when it was going on. I'm still down here. And the man was amazing. Ain't no way not just me. I was always the way I am now. Like I said, I'm 69 years old. I was a rebel back when I was a youngster, and I was talking about the stuff that was going on and was upset about it. Man, they used to tell me, "Oh no, man, don't say nothing. No, take it easy, take it easy." But I don't see how in the world that man convinced all of his followers that they have water holes put on them, dogs sicked on them, beat unmercifully. I mean, I just couldn't understand it. But he was he was an amazing man to me. That's all I can say.
Y'all know about that little passage in the Bible about you come amongst your own but not accepted. I often think about our leaders when I read that passage. Came amongst your own but wasn't accepted. Now think about the life of Martin Luther King. Look at what Tazaryach said. Look at what he allowed to be said about him. Came amongst your own but wasn't accepted. Just like Malcolm came amongst his own but wasn't accepted. At the time that Malcolm lived, these people, we was more on Malcolm after he died than when he was living. We love Malcolm more than at the time Malcolm was actually living on this earth. Okay? So a lot of our leaders are saying we are our own worst enemy out of pure jealousy and stupidity. It's pathetic. You know, that's why I think that these panels are good, because we can weed out the enemy. We can weed out the different enemies. You know what I'm saying? I don't know when we're going to find unity and say that we are one. We are one. We belong to each other. It's got to be a time that we start saying that Africans are our brothers and sisters, because we are African. Jamaicans are our brothers and sisters because we are Jamaican. People from Guyana, I think it's what it's called, Ghana.
Ghana.
I always get Ghana. You know what I'm talking about. All of the different places, we are them. Like I will always say, how do you know you're not related to that person? You don't know. It has to be one love, period. That's the only way we're going to win. The only way. Every summer I have, well, not just me, but the communities here have a big African festival, but the Africans never show up. So I started knocking on doors and like, why y'all don't show up? But it says African festival. Nobody invited us. Like, are you serious? The thing says African festival. I said, so okay, this summer, I'm going to come to the restaurants. I'm going to come to the clothing stores. I'm going to go to the Jamaican establishments, the Haitian establishments, at least here in the diaspora of Delaware, and tell y'all to come and be a part of this. We can only be family if we want to be. We have to start wanting to be family, because that's what we are. We've allowed this enemy to divide us through religion. This religion thing has said that the man is this, the woman is that. All of these different things divide us when we are one family. I love that, you know, Shaka has this station and that him and Sinetta work together. You know what I'm saying? Every time Say Cool come on the line, it seems like somebody got something to say about him. He is our brother. He belonged to us. How you
Yes,
want
ma'am.
our ancestors?
That's right.
This our ancestors that you disrespect when you disrespect one of ours. It's not fair. It's not right. And I'm speaking up as a mother. Okay, for all of our ancestors, it bothers me at night when I sleep. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people, you know, maybe don't even like me, but I don't even care. I love you anyway, because I got to stand up for what is right for us.
That's
and we
right.
have to find unity. We have to find unity. It's the only way. I don't want to. I actually make myself start conversations with African women, with Jamaican women, with Haitian women, with women from all over the world, because I want them to know not to be afraid. Because I think it's fear involved, and fear is the mind killer. I want them to know that, you know, we welcome you. And I want you to welcome us, because we are sisters. We just need our men to do the same thing. Be your brother's brother, because I want to be my sister's sister. So that's really all I got to say, is that I'm so disappointed in the man that's supposed to protect us. And they're saying things like this and allowing him to say, I'm glad Shaka put this on. I'm glad he did. because that's saying that we're not going to allow it. And for every brother that's on here and saying something against that, we are not going to allow you to be as stupid as you're being. You know what I'm saying? Because that's crazy. We need to save our brother, bring him back to reality of who he is and what we done been through. We don't let no white man talk about Malcolm X like that. Or Martin Luther King. I keep saying Malcolm. I'm talking about Martin Luther King like that. Because he probably done said it about Malcolm too. That is what the ancestors is coming through saying. He done said some stuff about Malcolm too. You can't even talk about Farrakhan. I'm not even that, you know what I'm saying, with the nation right now. But I'm just saying you can't even talk about Farrakhan. You can't talk about none of ours. Because you judge, like I said, you judge by your intentions. So
right. And it's two things I recognize in this behavior that he presented on that panel on Sinetters the other night, right? The thing is that it's like this. If you wanted to do something, if you wanted to somehow go out and attack somebody, attack a group, attack a power, why project it? You're just giving them a heads up on what you plan on doing. That means it won't work. You see what I'm saying? Those things don't work. You know, it's plenty of examples across the world where those who talk loud and big first, you find out it's the one that's not talking so much and being very conservative that is plotting and planning more than they talking. You see what I mean? So overall, that kind of stuff is not helping us. But the other thing about his comments was how casually he said this about Martin Luther King. He said it so casually, like
and laughing afterwards, laughing.
Yeah, who else would you say that about so casually? Would you say it to your own family member? Would you say that casually to that? Would that be a big deal to you? So when you put those things out there, it's like you got to be responsible and understand you're inviting them back yourself. And none of us have to do anything about it. He literally is inviting it himself, and nobody will be able to help him because he fueled the flames himself. How would they be able to figure out who do something? Because they went out spreading hate to everybody. How are you going to figure it out? You see? So that's the thing. He's all wrong. He's just all wrong. He's all wrong. The brother needs help. They need some psychological help. They digging in that book too much, getting twisted all upside down. It don't matter what book you pick up or where you go to work. You got to know what to pick up and what not to pick up. Pick up some of those verses that empower your love and your ability to embrace your real family members and the people that struggle with you, like people that experience the same things as you. Pick that part up. The part of it that's egregious, put it down.
Right, B. Ben. That's right. And one thing I want to say too to this young lady, and I don't mean to cut you, brother, but you get at it when you get at it. You like me. I want to say something to you, young lady. This is our first time meeting each other, and I want to say you are fiery, but you are a intelligent young lady too, because the way you talked as a mother, that's the way my mother and my grandmother talked to me, and I was raised by women. So you keep doing what you're doing, and don't lose that fire either.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Somebody
absolutely.
had put a message.
And you know what? All of y'all beautiful. All of y'all beautiful, you know? And I like how we were able to deal with that, you know, and that got a lot to do with Shaka, man. And I wanted to say, you know, I'm African American myself, brought up in Washington, D.C., but I moved to Europe like 20 years ago. My kids are over here, but I've been following Shaka style, all of them since way back. And I realized something that we got to stand up here for our brothers here and our sisters here in Europe also. And Shaka is one of them. You see, if you only have one house is easy to knock down. If you develop several houses, that becomes much more of a difficult event. You see, because one can pick the baton up and is ready to roll already. You see what I mean? And then help build the other house back up. You see what I mean? So we have to kind of We got to get our construction abilities together. You know, we got to understand how we build these houses, and the arguments and these kind of things that they throwing out there, they just distractions from that. They just distractions from what really is going to count and what's really going to matter. So that brother is doing himself in. We got plenty of examples how they go out and end up getting, getting in all kinds of independent trouble on their own, losing their mind. One of them went out there. I don't know which organization it was, but they cast it as a BHI, who went out there and just shot up one of these Jewish Israel Jewish temples. Went out there and shot. He in jail for insane. He got insane problems, but he gonna pay that price. He's in prison. You see what I mean? When we use these religious books that way, that's the problem with it. When somebody lunches out of their mind and go do something, man, nobody gonna take responsibility or care for them. Nobody can. You see, so we got to wind some of that stuff back. And amen for all of y'all. Amen for all of y'all, man. I'm getting religious now. I'm going back to my Christian roots. Oh my God. Yeah.
It's one of the messages, laugh out loud. The ancestors just came in. Listen, that's one thing I don't play with is the ancestors. That's the unseen and the unknown. We don't know what's on the other side. We hope, we don't know. We hope that the ancestors is somewhere protecting us. Okay. So when I say the ancestors just came through me, I'm talking about my grandmother. I'm talking about my grandfather. I'm talking about anybody that I came through is coming through me when I make statements. Okay. I don't do that. I don't play with the ancestors. I don't play with the unknown. I don't do that. So somebody else can say laugh out loud, but I'm not laughing out loud about my ancestors because I know that they lived. I don't know about no man walking all over the sky and all that kind of stuff. But I do know that my ancestor lived on this earth because that's how I got here. Okay. So whomever made that statement, please be careful. I don't play with stuff like that. And I don't think that none of us should play with our ancestors.
Oh, hold on, sister. Hold on. I think that message was put at the time when you said Malcolm X instead of saying Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
Then you mentioned like maybe that's what I'm saying. He's in agreement with you. I'm not in his mind, but that's how I see it.
Oh, I don't know, but I'm just saying I don't play with them. That's one thing I don't do. So that's all I wanted to say. It was no disrespect. If I've read it wrong, I'm sorry. I apologize. But I just, that's just something, I don't. If all of us here deal with the ancestors, I think.
Yes, ma'am.
I think
definitely.
So we want to go to sleep at night. You know what I'm saying? We don't want nothing on our minds. See, we can't prove nothing that the enemy has given us, but we can prove that we came through our ancestors. You know what I mean? So that's all.
And the amazing thing is that as much hell as we've been through, we still have enough sanity to hear those type of statements right there and speak out. So many, and that's all we got to do. We got to keep on speaking out and keep rejecting it. Keep rejecting it, and don't make it easy. Don't make it easy on them. When we reject it, because they go, how they like to go. You listen to them, they want to throw a little bit of sideways, shade on people. It's like, what's up with even the shade? What's up with the shade? You see what I mean? It's like they have their tricks in their little their loop that they throw on, the trick of game, the bag of tricks that they throw on every time just to confuse people. And this is one of them. It's like if you're dealing with painful people, right? Then what's the point in going out and saying, yeah, you deserve to die? What is that? That's obviously some sort of strange attack, if you ask me. Some sort of the easiest thing had to put no energy in it, no thought into it. Just, what? Let me say this to do that. But here's the thing, it's going to backfire because that brother and many others did lose their lives and are worth holding up and honoring for their sacrifices, period. And so when we show that, we're showing our sanity versus insanity, just straight up. you know.
Right on, B. Bennett.
Yeah.
Right on. Hey, B. Bennett, let me ask you a question, brother. I'm just like this. I don't come on the lives a lot, but when I'm here, you know me, I'm gonna speak my piece. But one thing I've noticed about you, why you don't hardly show your face? You talk a lot. People want to see you, bro. Let them see who you are.
Yeah, yeah.
It's on a regular basis, Elder, but I let him speak for himself.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. I'm almost here every day, you know. So it's like, and see, I'm the type of person where I see that I can be of use in a strategic way. That's if I see that, wait a second, I can kill 3-4 birds with this one stone. That's what Shaka is to me. He's my brother. He's over here in France. You know, it's my duty to make sure that the work that he put in, nobody can just come in here on some flimsy thing and just think they're going to knock down. No, it's my duty to help spread the message. And he's not the only one, you know, and that's how we got to do it. Don't want nothing for it. I know enough about life to know that I'm going to get everything for it just by doing the right thing. You know, and we have to start thinking like that as a diaspora. When we see strong people put in work, Shaka has been putting in work for a long time. Sa has been putting in work for a long time. So it's a duty thing. It's an honor thing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy to do it. I'm more
I
than
hear
happy
what you're
to do
saying,
it, you know?
B. Bennett. I hear what you're saying, but I'm not quite sure. Maybe I missed the answer. I feel like you didn't quite answer the
Oh, you mean
question.
the face, the picture. Oh, now my phone. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I haven't I don't always put up my logo, but this on my laptop, when I the camera works different on my laptop. My phone is easy. I just press the button. My laptop, it have this OBS thing on it. So even when it's not on or working, the settings keep saying OBS. And when I go into this program, you don't see that. But if I went into another program, the OBS would show. Like
Okay.
What's this
Okay, I
other
got you.
networking thing? Yeah, you know. And I'm savvy with this kind of stuff, but I'm not always that savvy. So forgive me.
Okay. All right, I got you. I just kind of wondered. I thought maybe as much as you talk, bro, ain't no sense in being shy. I'm gonna tell you, I was a shy dude at one time, but I grew out of it. I'm gonna tell you, living down in Miami, you can't be shy hanging out down there. You better learn how to speak up and tell it like it is. And I grew to be a very well spoken individual.
Oh,
But
you know what, brother? You know what y'all can do if y'all want to. I'm a founder of an organization over here called Afro Empowerment Center, and it's in its 10-year existence now, and we only fight for human rights for people of African descent against discrimination, systemic discrimination, and racism. And basically, we're the only organization that has ever done that. We're the first in the history of this country. So you could go out there, Google my name, Google Afro Dane, even though I'm not Danish. I'm American. I'm American. But I did that because I said, hey, we need an identity over here we can rally around, all of us diaspora here. And so I got a book out there. It's called Afro Dane, A Successful Story. It's all about the human rights laws pertaining to people of African descent and discrimination and racism towards us and the laws. So go pick it up. You can Google it, check it out. It's a worthwhile read, if especially if you don't know much about the human rights laws dealing with racism and discrimination. So my face is all over that, but and I spent 10 years putting my face. I'm like Sarnetta too and Shaka, man. I spent 10 years out there in this community, and I received hate from a lot of our own people that's confused. You know, so many people, you know, we have the same dynamics. And I pulled myself back. I stepped down because of a lot of the things that I see Sa going through. I was able to step down because I had some people that could take over. That's how we set it up, the organization. So when people start going at personal attacks, trying to make it easy, trying to make the fight easy by going after one person, guess what? Now, what's up with the next person? What you gonna do? You gonna do the same game on them too? We watching. We're gonna sit back and watch. And you can't play that game forever. Eventually, people catch on. You know. But
There
I'm
you
going
go.
to switch over to my phone now, bro.
All right.
Elder, I'm going to switch over to. Thank you for the compliment too, brother.
Well, I
Okay,
have a channel as well. It's called Unscramble Minds. And it's on YouTube. It's called Unscramble Minds. It's a new channel. I just started it. And I have Dulcinea on the channel. Sakina Ra's gonna be on the channel. We've already interviewed Judge Joe Brown. It's just starting up. So, you know, if anybody, you're welcome, come subscribe to it. Let's get it in. You know what I'm saying? The next conversation that we're having is going to be one that you men might like. Okay. And it's about, do you want for your sister what you want for yourself? Meaning, do you believe in polygamy? Would you like for your sister or be okay with
Uh-oh.
It's a deep conversation, and then the next one is going to be about who should be the leader in the house, in the home setting. Who should be the leader? Because a lot of people think that the man should be the leader.
Not all the time.
I think it's a balance, but you get to come on. You get to say why you feel that way. You know what I mean? So the channel was there. It's called Unscramble Minds.
Is that the name of the channel or is that the name of the show? I was just looking for
right here, Unscramble Minds. See it?
I see something up on the Tri-State Speak Out.
Tri-State Speak Out. That's it.
Chat, brother.
It's it. You can get it through that way too. Because I live in a tri-state area. So when I made my YouTube page, I tried to do it that way. But there it is right here, Unscramble Minds. So I mean, like I said, it's a new channel just getting started. You know, we getting help from Sai, we getting help. We're gonna ask help from Shaka. You know, we trying to get it on, you know. So that's just thank you for subscribing. So I'm asking for everybody to subscribe and come on. You can come on anytime and say whatever, however you feel. Especially you, James Powell. I want to see you in there.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to subscribe.
Yeah, I'll be over there too.
That's Ruben up right there.
I'm sorry.
That's for you.
Unscramble Minds. I'll be looking for it.
Unscramble that mind.
Well, I know that's right.
Yeah, unscramble it. You know, so.
But I'm gonna tell you, we have been speaking on Tazaryach and all this stuff that's went on, and I think it's been a good discussion. We had to kind of clear the airways in the beginning, but it mellowed out and smoothed out, and I think we've sending a message out there, not just to Tazaryach, but that's anybody that's similar or like Tazaryach. Y'all need to get on your job and like on the pseudo killers, they used to say, source up or shut up. You know, hey, get your sources right and give it to the people the right way, because it just don't make no sense. And y'all giving this stuff and I mean sending some of our folks off on a wrong direction and all out there into the woods somewhere doing all this crazy stuff that's gonna mess up their life. And I mean, just get them tied up in the stuff that it's gonna be hard to get out of. Like my grandma used to say, hey, trouble is easy to get in, boy, but it's hard to get out of. Be careful.
It is. I'm so glad you said for anybody who even think like that, we coming at you.
That's
we ain't
right.
letting it happen. We
And
coming at you.
and that's what's up. That's what's
Is that
up.
what you look like, V Bennett, and you was hiding? You better stop playing with us. Okay? Stop playing. But I'm
you know, it's like I also learned, you know, it's like, you know, as much as I do appreciate and I do love communicating, right? Especially when it's something relevant and important and necessary, you know. But my personality also has never been number one. You see what I mean? I'm really best at number two, supportive role. You see what I mean? Analytical role. And you got different roles to play. You know, sometimes the voice, even myself, I recognize I was not the best voice for my organization, even if I had the most knowledge to provide and some analytical strengths and network strengths that a lot of people didn't have. And by the way, kudos to a lot of the you know, people used to know me and still do, like Mintu Sun as Pan-Africans Denmark. You see what I mean? And that flipped into the organization that stands today, Afro Empowerment Center, because it was generally, for the time, it was the simplest thing that the most people could get around. But I'm a Pan-African, so I even laugh, I even get a kick. I understand when Shaka is criticizing, and he got every right to, because it's warranted. You see what I mean? But I'm one of the Pan-Africans that really follows the core principles of it and try my best to never violate it. And by the way, there's a lot of Pan-Africans that are fighting for people's human rights on the UN level, writing charters against discrimination and racism and colonialism. And because a lot of times, because of the work some of these people are doing, they never going to be on a panel with somebody like Tazaryach. They're not even going to address them because they have another way of dealing with this, and they hope that people see it. Their way of dealing with it is that, okay, you got somebody saying this, then we can't have them. Period. Nothing. No conversation, no connection, no nothing, because the serious work that has to be done, they're stopping it. You see, they may not even know it. And I'm pretty, they may not even know what they do. That's the thing of it, so, but it takes some self-control to even get that far, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. And like brothers, like everybody said, the brother and the sister said, they ain't the only ones. It's the ones like them, so they all get the same.
Well, with that being said,
you know what I'm saying? You ask yourself why. Shaka, if you can tell me, why do you think that these young men say this type of stuff? Why did he? Huh?
It's their religion, as you're seeing. He quoted from the scriptures, the same scriptures it says, I think it's Corinthian, but it's Paul who said that Jesus Christ is the head of the man and the man is the head of a woman. He said that he does not allow a woman to speak at church, that she should be silent and ask her husband at home. He even said that she shouldn't have braided hair and wearing gold, So, and he said it's because a woman was transgressed. I mean, I have that on my website, but that's what it is, But what I propose now, because it's been 2 hours, 51 minutes, is to let everybody make their closing remarks. So, well, let's do it. Let's start with V. Bennett, then we can do James Power, and then we will end with the Sister Try. Is it Sister Freedom? Sister Freedom, is it? Yes. So, V. Bennett, feel free to make your closing remarks.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I was going to say, go ahead.
No, I didn't.
I want a sister last.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I mean,
I'm going to say that because of our history and the hell a lot of us are in and been through on a sustained level, it's very hard to express love. It's easy to express hate. And so we need to be mindful of that and challenge ourselves. And we are allowed to make mistakes. We're allowed to fail, and Sa said that too. That's why I have faith in him. And that's why I also will protect Sa, and give any help or any insight at any time. You know what I'm saying? We all speak, even myself. But I just realized I'm a sharper knife. I'm a sharper tool in the toolbox when I can try to control that part of myself. You know what I mean? Because I know where it's going to lead me and it said it's going to harm others too that I don't want to. You see what I mean? So on that, I say peace to y'all. Hotel.
Peace and love. Please come on my channel.
Yes, the sisters channel is here. It's in the chat, brothers and sisters. Now, Elder James Powell, please feel free to make your closing remarks.
Okay, Shaka. Haven't did this too many times, but I think I'll just speak what's on my mind, especially about the topic we had today. Just like we're going to look after our brothers and, try to be one as a people and a family. Of course, we're going to do like the young lady said, and that's look after our leaders, especially our elders and our elder ancestors. Let's just put it that way. The ones, in other words, that was here before me. And you can see all these gray hairs under my chin, but we got to learn how to, I don't know if I'll live to see it, just like I watched my mama cry like a baby when she saw Barack Obama become the first president of the United States, because she never thought that she would see that through all the stuff that she went through. And she's a lot older than me. She'll be 88 in April, and we're going to go down in Broward County and have a birthday party for her because she's the only matriarch left out of her generation. But we got to learn how to love each other and pass on right information for sure. And that's all I'm concerned about. I don't care who it is. And that's what I like about you, Shaka. I told you that a long time ago. And I still stand behind you and anybody else that does it. We got to learn how to pass the truth on to each other. We got to be behind each other and stand up for each other. But truth is very important, especially for the generations on down the road. They need to know the truth. If you look at all these other nationalities, they know where they came from. They know their people. They can tell you right off the cuff, you know, I'm this, that, or whatever. But we have the problem. We're going through the struggle now, trying to find that and dig it up, so that once we do get it, and hopefully we get it the right way, we'll be together enough to start passing that on down the line. And what little bit we have now, let's pass that correctly. That's all I'm saying. Right on to us black folks, because we need all the help in the world, and for sure we need each other. That's it, Shaka.
Thank you, Elder. Now, Sister Freedom,
Yeah.
Sister Freedom, is it? Yeah, I'm confused because I always read the username on the screen. Yes, Sister Freedom, feel free to speak. Elder Sister, feel free to make
But I'm going to make it clear that I am speaking out for the tri-state area. Okay, I really am. And I'm trying to speak out for mothers in general, you know, because we raised our kids better than that, than to say things like that, or to allow someone to disrespect our elders, and especially people that has passed on already. You know what I'm saying? We was raised better than that. But I will say this: these religious situations will take up for a Jesus and a God that they've never seen and don't know. And all these biblical characters in the book, they take up form and will damn near get out here and want to fisticuff you and fight you over these biblical characters, no different than a story of Cinderella with a message. You know what I'm saying? You never seen these people. And this was introduced to us by our enemies, what make it so bad. Okay. But here it is. We have people that we know died for us without a shadow of a doubt, and we will disrespect them. What does that say about us as a people? What does that say about us? We have enough heroes of our own that we have seen and know walk the face of this earth. And some of us even know their descendants. You know, I'm a Quarles by blood. Okay. Benjamin Quarles by blood. Okay. Langston Hughes, my family by blood. You understand what I'm saying? I have many people in my family who fought the fight, for us. And I guess it just trickled down in the bloodline. You know, I have no problem with that. You see what I'm saying? But I have a problem when we're supposed to, our men are the ones that are saying these things, and they're supposed to be our protectors. You're not doing your job as a protector, not mentally, not physically, because as a mother, that hurts. I'm just saying, it really hurts. And I need my brothers to stand up and say, we're not having it. We're not going to let you do this. We're not going to let you say this. We are against this. So us women can start looking back at y'all as our protectors. You know what I mean? We need to believe that you are our protectors for real. Not saying stuff about Martin Luther King, not saying stuff about Malcolm X, not saying stuff about Marcus Garvey, not downplaying any of our heroes. No, but you are Ali. Elijah Muhammad, many of them. We just cannot allow it to happen. And there's so many people on this YouTube that is really doing the work. We can't allow you to downplay them. I'm not, you know what? It's a brother on YouTube, and I always tell people to listen to him. His name is 19 Keys. I don't know if you ever heard of him or not. The
Well,
brother
it seems to be an Asiatic black man, and I don't know if he's part of the NOI, but I've heard of him. I don't really watch it. Every time I see Asiatic black man,
very
I
positive,
don't pay attention to
young
them
brother.
because
You know,
these are Africans are living in jungle life, and Africans are not civilized, and black people are marked and disfigured. But by all means, if people want to check him out, they can check him out. 19 Keys.
19 Keys. Yes, he's straight up. I'm talking about from the young era of young boys. I've even asked my son to take a look at his channel because somebody said, man, hell no. I don't know what that's supposed to
Asiatic black men teaching. I mean, I don't know if you've seen Farrakhan teaching that black people are marked, disfigured because we rebelled against God, and this is the origin of our kinky hair. You never seen that video?
Which one? No, I'm not talking about Farrakhan.
Yeah, no, the 19 Keys. I mean, I don't know exactly which organization he's a
I
member of.
always see positive things on his channel. I've never seen
Yeah,
it.
well, people say Farrakhan says positive things, but Farrakhan has one of the most anti-black speech ever made by a black person. But I don't mean to do
Farrakhan, wasn't it? Was that Farrakhan?
Yeah, you never seen Farrakhan's speech talking about we're marked and disfigured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what did that got to do with 19 Keys?
Well, like I was saying, 19 Keys appears to be an Asiatic black man, so he will probably agree with these teachings of the Nation of
I don't
Islam.
think so. Everybody don't agree with everything. He'll toss like me, so I know he don't agree with everything. But anyway, I was just putting it out there because I like it as a young person. I'm just on the young people. That's it. Because other than that, I would have said sign at the TV all day long. You know what I mean? But you need somebody his age. Because Sinetta used to have. You remember the two? I cannot call this Sinetta. You said the young boy, dark skin, used to be on Sinetta's channel all the time. Years ago, young boy. I never see him anymore. Sinetta used to have young boys on his channel to reach the younger crowd. This young boy was bad too. I can't call his name right now,
You're
but
not talking about Young Pharaoh, are you?
yeah, huh?
You're not talking about Young Pharaoh, are you? The guy
No,
with the dreadlocks? Okay.
no. I'm not putting down young Pharaoh. I don't do that. I'm not trying to put down any of our brothers. What I'm saying, it used to be some
Is
young
it Young Marcus?
young Marcus.
Hmm.
He was very
That rings a
positive.
bell.
Well, I don't know what happened to him, where he went, but Saab was raising them little young boys, and they was on point years ago. I don't know what happened to young Marcus. I mean, I met him up in New York at one of Saab's events. But yeah, so we just need to love on each other and take care of each other because tomorrow is not promised to anybody. Life is short, and I had to learn that just recently because we never think about death. We never think about leaving this earth, but we need to think about what we stand for right now is what we're going to take with us when we leave. That's all I had to say. Peace. I want to hear what the brother got to say, though, but I guess
Peace. Now, Jay Heru, feel free to make your closing remarks.
Okay. Yeah, just going back to what I was saying earlier. This is a very good show. We talked about a lot of, good topics and everything. But one thing I would propose, man, just especially with the recent things that he's been saying, I just think that we need to separate ourselves from these groups, man, because they're not serving us, in what we're trying to do. And if we continue to associate ourselves with these different groups, man, they're not gonna do nothing but hold us back. And people like that, it's almost like they can get into a movement and infiltrate it, and dismantle it. So I would propose, man, we just stay away from those people, man. Because we can sit and argue and debate with them and stuff like that, but a lot of these guys, man, they not gonna change. They stuck in their ways. Um, especially with Captain. I mean, the thing that got me with him was, when he was talking to that little African boy. Ever since then, I've always had, a disdain for him. Because he pushes that type of rhetoric, you know, and I just feel like we would be better off staying away from those people.
Thank you, Brother Jeheru. Well, brothers and sisters, I'm going to make my usual closing remarks. You must know it by now. Stay safe, stay healthy. If I'm allowed to by the Necheru, I will definitely holler back at you. I don't argue, I state facts. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Do a Necheru Hotel. Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving Medu Nature classes. And here, that's the flyer. Okay? So, those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video, Kemet and Ma'at, Before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have a lot more.
I just want to let everyone know who's listening in now and who's going to listen to this stream in the future. I just had my first Meta Nature class by Brother Shaka today, and I've had other Meta Nature lessons by other teachers, and I can tell you right now, the brother is the best in the game. He is that was one of the best classes I've ever had, ever. So if you're interested in learning the Meta Nature, if you're interested in getting the basics of it, Brother Shaka is an awesome teacher. Get with him, and it's extremely affordable. This brother is giving us his time and his skills, and he's basically giving it away. I mean, I just consider it a donation. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody is interested in learning the Meta Nature, get with this brother right here. He's an awesome teacher. And I'll end with that.
Hotep Senu, Hena Senut. This is Julie, also known as Servant of Yah, and I'm currently taking the Medu Nature classes with Brother Shaka, and it has been an amazing experience. Only 2 lessons so far, and I feel like I've been taking the classes for months, just with the how in depth he goes into the vocabulary words, the construction of the language, the grammar. It's been immeasurable, the experience. And one thing that comes across, hands down, is his extreme passion for teaching this to anyone who is willing to learn and has an interest in learning. So I highly suggest, if you are interested, even a minimal interest, that you subscribe to the classes with Brother Shaka. It's such a nominal amount for how much you get. I know, like, our last class was over 2.5 hours. It felt like 2 minutes, but because that's how involved you are in what he's teaching and how he teaches and how compassionate he is about what he teaches. Also with sharing materials free of charge, no question, no doubt. It's just what he does. He doesn't have to, but he does. And so I just wanted to give a short testimonial about the class and the effectiveness of the class, and all of that is attested to how studied Brother Shaka is. So I highly recommend anyone with a minimal interest that you do sign up for the Medu Nature class. Hotep.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is Ma'at Forever. Don't forget to watch the video entitled Kemet and Ma'at. Don't forget to share Kemet and Ma'at on my channel on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or other social media that you use. Email, text messages, you name it. Those who wish to donate can do so on paypal.me/Ma'at Forever.